Hey everyone, Anthony, not cool in high school. I don't know what episode number we're on. Did you ever memorize? I don't.
Ben usually pulls it out.
He does. He's like, oh,
65.
it's this. I know we're under.
I'm thinking it's 65.
We're under 60
Under
because
60.
this is the only episode. This is the only show where I still have to go to the other hard drive to put it on
it might
that
be
one.
like 58 or 59.
It's close. It's getting close to
It's
60.
about there.
It's
yeah.
getting close.
It should be about there.
Yeah, this show is a little behind the other shows. All the other shows are over 60. This one fell behind because we took a couple weeks off and stuff. And
yeah,
we
thought
slacked.
I thought Banging Beers would have been one that would have been slacking. But
No, we realize
I know.
numerous times we've done
ripped
3 in a weekend.
no, I
Hey,
know.
yeah.
I'm just saying.
It reminds me, holographic stickers are $9 in sticker meal today.
Yeah, I put
I
a
was going to
link
say you
on-
should get the Bang and Beer one.
Yeah, I sent it to. I don't
buy
have the
it.
money to buy them.
Yeah.
But I put it to the group chat if they want to buy them.
Yeah, it's only $9.
and it could be.
I went to buy them,
Yeah,
I'll
it
give
could
the people.
I bought two 10 packs.
Did you?
Oh, did you?
20.
Cool.
Yeah, so I got some.
Oh, the new symbol.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
I'm excited to see it because it's holographic. I'd like to see
Yeah,
that
so
new
it's like
logo.
the blue and gold
It
one.
looks
Wherever.
Does it?
It like just a
Oh,
little
yeah.
snippet. A little.
Did you do the white
thumbnail.
background with the black or the
I did
full black?
did the full black.
Nice.
It looks pretty cool.
Cool.
It
I'm
really
excited to
Well,
see
they
it.
do all the editing perfect for you.
Yeah.
Like the cut and everything. Like
I'm
the blue and
excited.
gold was like, here's a symbol. I'm like, here you go. I was like, whoa, that was quick.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
But let's get into some fun news here. So we got some new
As
announcements.
opposed to bad news.
Yeah, we have some real bad news. No, I mean, there's
Nintendo's
enough,
out of business.
there's enough
They
bad
better not
news. Well, there is some bad news for Nintendo, but we'll get into that.
Oh, no.
But there's enough bad news going on in the world.
Right.
Five white people talking about Black Lives is probably not our best suit.
No.
You know, we really don't have a say. We really don't have that experience.
Yeah.
So we're not going to touch on it. But I'm not speaking for everybody, but I stand in support. I support your cause. Do what you got to do. But it's just not our discussion to have. So, it is what it is. So, anyway, good news. For you guys that have been supporting the podcast, our podcast, if you support this show or some of the other ones, we are at a point where we've been asking for a new laptop, and we're there. We're very, very, very close to the point where we can pretty much get it now. But the problem is the laptop I want, the new model comes out sometime this month or early next month. So what I'm just going to do is hold off and wait for that new model. It has a few specs that really help us being content creators and editing videos and stuff like that, and for photography. So we're just going to hold off. But the laptop is coming. What that means for you guys as listeners, if you missed video episodes, they are coming back. And not only are video coming back, you can see our amazing faces, but it will come back as a live stream podcast. So you can type with us, you can interact with us on YouTube. There'll be live donations where you can send us messages during the podcast.
You can yell at me for being a goof.
You can, every time Ben says something, you can give a donation. We will be in the money.
A lot of people on my a stream that I'm currently doing with my golf game, what a lot of people do is if they have a question or whatever, they'll send $1 and ask the question. So,
That could be a thing. If you
Wow.
want to pose something, we can do that. Like, hey, $5 donation. Hey assholes, go watch this movie and talk about it next week. We can come up with ideas. We'll have fun with it. With the live streams too, we could start doing like giveaways because we have the merch stuff. So a lot of cool stuff in the works. Unfortunately, another kind of not bad news, but we have maxed out our advertisement for Anchor. So Anchor, you won't hear Anchor ads anymore because
I was wondering about that.
they're not paying us anymore. Once you hit $50, they're like, yeah, we're gonna find you a new ad. And spoiler alert, I've been on Anchor for a while and I've never got a new ad. So I don't see. It's a small revenue, but $50 was nice.
Yeah.
We put $50 in the account and it worked out, and it's going towards the laptop. So you won't hear any more ads. So
What would they do if as a famous person and the first episode had 2 million downloads?
Yeah.
They'd be like, well,
most famous people don't have to. They would probably
They'll go-
pay
yeah,
for
they'll go
a
through
higher
yeah.
distributor.
But what if they did?
Yeah. Who knows?
What if Michael Scott? It's like, I'm going to start the Michael Scott podcast.
Yeah, he would max out.
Yeah, and he's like, I'm going to do it on Anchor.
Yeah, and then he'd be like, well, thanks for the $50. I'm going to move on now. But yeah, so you won't hear any more ads. What we might do is if you have a local business or a band or another podcast, send us ads.
Yeah,
and we'll play. I have
20-second commercial.
I have a few I can throw in, and I may add them in the middle. So maybe not this episode, but maybe halfway through, I'll write in our show notes and we'll be right back after this.
Yeah.
And then
Well, that's why I have to say. You don't have to be. You know, the so and so commercial.
Yeah, and then we'll say, hey, we'll be back after this message. We can stop the podcast, put the ads in, and then come back. So look for that in the future. And obviously, you don't have to pay us to play your ads. We're just trying to put people over. Let me think what else I got here. I think that's it. Just looking forward to a live stream and getting back to normal. Our set has been revamped. I mean, for you guys, it's going to look the same, but for us, it's different. It's built a little differently, and it looks a lot nicer. So I'm excited for that. But that's pretty much all I really got when it comes to show news. You can go check out some new episodes. Bang and Beers have been killing it with interviews. Tons of wrestling interviews if you're into that. I've been interviewing so many independent wrestlers all over, and podcasts and referees and promotions. It's been crazy.
Awesome.
Next week, interview is going to be Andy Header. You
Oh, it's coming out next. I thought it was this week.
You know,
Whoa,
this week was
part two.
This episode was Glorified Jobbers. This
Oh,
week.
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then it'll be you.
How about
So
it?
Andy's episode 6, and I have up to episode 13 recorded.
Wow. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, been busy boy. I have 2 more to record tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
I'll have enough wrestling interviews.
Yeah.
to last me
and
for-
it'll
You'll
be-
know everybody then.
It'll be a second round for you this time. 'cause
I guess
you were like
so.
the,
It's probably
you were
the
like the
same-
second show.
Yeah,
You were the
covering the
second
same
show.
topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was on interviews, and then
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
and this one's more or less his wrestling stuff.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So I'm excited for it. All right. First little bit of news I got. 30 for 30, brand new 30 for 30 is out right now. I didn't get to watch it yet, but it is on my list. It's called Be Water. It's going to be the Bruce Lee story
Why is it called Be Water?
because that was one of his.
Be like water, conform.
Oh,
with like,
I thought
yeah.
B period water. Like
No.
I thought it was some basketball player. He said 30 for 30. I'm like, oh, kind of not interested. The only one I'd watch is Ric Flair.
Yeah. Well, they
I heard it's
do
good.
they do mix them up a little bit, but he says you should be able to, as a human, be able to conform. Don't be so set in your ways.
Like adapt.
Adapt. Be adaptable. If you pour water into a pot, it becomes a pot. If you
Yeah.
pour water into this, it becomes this.
Oh, okay.
Be water.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's where they're doing Bruce Lee.
I'll tell you what. I have a whole
'Cause
book based on.
Aren't they mainly sports themed?
Well, I mean, he was martial arts.
Yeah, but that's
He was the father of a lot. He was the father of an entire
yeah,
genre of
yeah.
martial art.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Mhm.
that, like he wasn't like in a major league of.
They really didn't.
I mean,
have that.
yeah, I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
but
there
they pretty much credit him and Hoist Gracie for starting MMA because
Yeah.
they're the first ones to really combine all the styles.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Well, what was his name? G. Like his.
Jeet Kune Do.
Jeet Kune Do.
Do.
Yeah. And then if you're excited for that PlayStation, they rescheduled. It's actually going to be this week.
When? Yeah, I was gonna say, when did they reschedule it? to?
Yeah, June 11th at 4 p.m. So that's at
Thursday?
Thursday. Yeah. So Thursday at 4 p.m.
California time or
No, Eastern.
America time?
America time. Our America. Yeah. It's going to be. They're going to talk about the new controller. They're going to talk about the new system. From what the rumors are, they're not going to do price point. Can you do me a favor? Can you get me a drink out of there? Soda, I don't care, whatever one.
The worst thing
Um,
you can. Get that bottle of ranch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And then what was I gonna say now? Oh yeah, they're gonna. The rumor is probably not price points. They probably won't dive into price points because I don't think they're gonna show their hand before Microsoft.
Yeah, they're
does.
both gonna wait until their one says, and then eventually you have to.
Yeah.
'Cause you're gonna sell it
Um,
once the pre-orders go up. So that's what? No, probably October.
I'd say sooner.
Yeah.
I think Xbox is gonna drop their pre-orders.
When
in
are they
July.
both coming out? December or November?
Christmas time.
November. So probably around November, December.
Oh, so then
Yeah, for the
maybe
Christmas
September,
sales.
Yeah.
August.
I would say pre-orders are gonna happen in July.
I'm gonna be a big spender and be like, both, please.
I'll tell you what. If
that credit card out.
if
Both,
if Xbox says pre-orders are out in July, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have the money. I drop the $499, 500 for the system,
Yeah.
and then I have from July to November to pre-order the other one. It's a very high chance I would do
Yeah.
both. If
Yeah.
you
Why
make me
not?
wait till
You-
November,
Yeah.
I don't think I could sit on the money that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's one thing to drop $500 in November,
Mhm.
and then another 3
Yeah.
months you could drop another. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Like,
if you had to do both,
if you have to do
once,
both,
yeah,
it's like
that's-
over
that's,
like a couple grand. It's like doesn't sound as appealing.
I hear you. I don't know. I'll get both. That didn't work through the coronavirus for nothing.
Treat
Yeah.
yourself, Andy.
Treat yourself.
Yeah.
That's right.
Unless they're outrageous prices. Like if they let's say one comes out and they say it's going to be $8.99. Like no,
I don't think they'll be that high.
No.
I think
That
the
would be a bad
highest.
idea.
I think the highest you're going to see
600 is the most.
650 would be the highest.
Yeah. And I'm not buying the Pro because I don't have a HD, or I have HD TV. I don't have a
They're
3D
both
or nothing.
they're both at pro levels from start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Like I never
unless-
bought the PlayStation Pro because I don't have a 4K TV, so
Well,
I won't tell the difference.
The PlayStation
I
Pro
wouldn't
is
either.
the PlayStation Pro is fake 4K anyway, so don't worry
Oh.
about it.
It doesn't matter.
It's-
I don't care about
it doesn't
4K.
matter if you don't have a 4K TV. You'll never know.
Yeah, I do. I would
I
not have
don't.
the 4K.
I still have my HD TV from like 10 years ago when they first came out. I bought off
Same
some girl who
here.
got a divorce, and she sold it for half price.
Nice.
So
Cash in on divorces, baby. Here's our bad news from Nintendo.
I
You
don't
ready?
want to hear it now.
Are you ready? 140,000 accounts have been compromised. They had a hack.
I don't have.
I did not hear that.
Keep an eye on your bank accounts.
Really?
Yep. I guess they had a hack, and at first they said it was they gave her very low numbers, and I think it was this many, and then they're like, no, it's like 140,000.
Wow. What can happen to anybody?
Well, the
you know?
cool
That's
thing
true.
is I just lost my wallet, so the card that's on file, it's no longer
Yeah.
usable.
I have my PayPal, so they'd have to go and take money from the PayPal.
I wonder
Mine's
if
through
it's
PayPal,
related though,
too.
because there's been a PayPal hack this week.
Oh, really?
Oh, I did see that.
My friend just got her PayPal hacked, and somebody bought an $800 iPhone on her
Wow.
PayPal, and they
sucks.
don't have any delivery address for it or anything. So yeah, that I saw that too because I've been operating with PayPal for my stream. So I was like, I'm changing that password. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
did a double authentication just in case to send it to your phone then as well.
yeah, I love PayPal. I've never had an issue, but
Yeah, me
this
either.
is their first big hack.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, if you are a Nintendo user, they
Yeah, I don't have a credit card.
they
on
have
it or
been
anything.
compromised. People really want that Animal Crossing, I guess.
Or PayPal too. Be careful with your PayPals because that's linked to a lot of bank accounts directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not see it yet, but Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure trailer dropped.
I did see that.
What'd you think?
Mhm.
It's pretty interesting how they are doing it.
I'm gonna be
and
honest.
making it
I've
kinda
never seen the
goofy.
original.
What's it called?
I haven't
Bill
either.
and Ted's I don't know the new one.
Ain't
Bill
that-
and Ted
because one's
Face
called
the Music.
Bogus Journey. Yeah, it was Excellent Adventure and then Bogus Journey.
Yeah,
Yep,
I've never
it's-
seen any of them.
It's Bill and Ted.
I seen it when I was a kid.
Whatchamacallit. It's Face the Music.
Oh.
And it kind of goes with the trailer saying like, oh well, it was way back in the day where you were like had a rock band and everyone was like filling up venues.
Wild Stallions.
Now it's like now, and all of a sudden
They're
you're
washed
like,
up.
they're washed up and they're playing with 40 people with like 3 teeth amongst them because it was an old folks home.
Well, the dude that's not Keanu Reeves is washed up. So I mean,
He's like, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Keanu. He's like, you're fucking killing it right now.
I heard he was a dick too. And he met him at con. Said he wouldn't do the Wild Stallions pose. Like, you're known for one thing.
Really?
Maybe be a little cool.
Yeah.
About it, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I heard
and
that as
then-
well.
I don't know which one's Bill and which one's Ted because
And then they have like that whole
Does
council.
Keanu have a beard?
No.
He shaved it.
Yeah, he shaved it. Yeah.
He did.
Wow.
So you see them with like the council, and they're like, "What are you going to do to do this?" And they have the bright idea. It's like, "Well, why don't we go into the future when we wrote this first song, and then bring it back to the present time?" And then they're like, it cuts out at the end where they're in prison and like they're all jacked up, like goofy, like prosthetic, like muscles and all that. Like they're in like federal prison.
Yeah,
and they're
in
like
jail for 50 years.
and they're like, "Whoa, like you guys got jacked." And that's the end of the trailer.
Wasn't Toe Jam and Earl loosely based off
Kinda,
Bill and
'cause
Ted's?
they,
the time like traveling,
Time
and-
travel, the telephone booth, Doctor Who.
Yeah,
That
yeah. I
makes
didn't see it yet.
sense, Yeah.
Sorry, I got the beer. The not even. I've been drinking beer, so that's probably a mixture. AMC is aiming for a July opening, global opening in July.
Oh.
That's pretty good.
Limited
Yeah.
capacity or nothing they say?
Probably.
The New Japan said limited capacity next month.
Yeah.
1/3.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. It's going to be in Japan, right?
Yes.
Japan.
They're ahead of
The Japanese are very
Yeah,
good
they're
when
ahead
it
of
comes
us.
to that, though. Like,
Yeah.
And realistically, even if they did close no audience, the Japanese crowd is very, very quiet anyway. So you wouldn't even.
Yeah. I mean, they get into a little bit, but yeah, they're
They
not like
pop at the
American
right
crowds.
times.
Yeah.
They're not just
So
chanting.
they're,
the
New
chant.
Japan's doing a couple no fan shows, and then July, there's the fans.
Cool.
I'm a little nervous about all these reopening so fast because like the states, Texas and Florida, that has started reopening earlier, seeing a spike in cases already, and it's like scientists keep warning they're like, there's going to be a second wave of this. If this works like any other virus, this is going to be a second wave, and that usually kills more people. And people are like, well, I gotta get to the restaurant and order a beer and try to hit on a chick that doesn't like me.
Yeah. Well, realistically, this I'm not trying to get political, but the way our political system works is they don't care.
No,
No.
I don't care.
They want to make
Kills
money.
me, kills me.
Yeah, they want to make money, and human lives are
No.
less important than making money.
Well,
so.
that
Yeah.
WHO said last night, the World Health Organization said maybe the asymptomatic doesn't travel from one person to another. I was like, oh, now that's like, oh, it's over now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I do, yeah, not
so much
not to get
indecision.
political, but I do love how it switched really quickly, though, from like the
Yeah.
white people that were protesting the stay-at-home orders, and they're like, "We got to go out and do this. This is our right to protest." And now they're like, "These fucking protesters are going to spread the virus."
yeah.
Yeah, it's very flip floppy,
Mhm.
and then protesting.
I seen a funny meme. Yeah, it's not to cut you off, but it did say, "I'm having a big protest in my backyard for 4th of July, and everyone come and bring a topic you want to argue about."
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because you know how you can only have like a gathering of 20, but protest be 100.
Yeah, it said a list of 12 people for social gatherings and 100 for protests.
Yeah,
I saw that too.
That was Thunder at first. Yeah, I messaged the PPW group that I'm in, and I said, "Hey, I found a loophole into your next pay-per-view.
Protest.
Yeah, say it's a protest wrestling party.
Yeah,
and you can pack the place out. Yeah, nutty stuff there. Well, let's dive right
Metroid Prime
into
going on.
this kind of.
What's that? Metroid Prime trilogy rumored for Switch.
I heard a rumor too.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not confirmed.
But they're supposed to announce it like soon.
Really.
I
Yeah.
heard that as well.
The guy who's talking about this rumor is that RGT or RXT. I don't know.
I don't know.
He's a YouTube channel. He's very, very good. I'm really pissed I don't know his name, but he's pretty much saying he heard rumors and he's hearing speculation that you know how Nintendo has like the retro systems built in. A new one is coming.
64 then.
Nope.
Yeah, they're going right to GameCube.
Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Game Boy Advance. It's gonna put some.
Game Boy Advance is a lot of good game. Regular Game Boy.
Game Boy Advance
has some
pretty
good
much
games.
had like some like ports and all that, but otherwise like their new like IPs were actually really awesome.
Yeah, so it's
like,
gonna
they
be
really
it's
came
gonna be a
out
Game Boy Advance
hard.
thing.
Yeah, that's gonna be
The
nice.
Castlevania games are good. There's a bunch of good role playing games for it.
Yeah,
Golden Sun,
Konami games,
Magical
kicked
Star
ass.
Sign. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a whole bunch there.
So maybe that'll be something on the horizon. Positive news from Nintendo. There you go.
There you go.
This kind of goes with the protesting thing we just talked about. Cops is ending its run. No more Cops.
I didn't know it was still on.
31 years. It's been
What?
on.
Wow. What's the one that's like it? It's
Live
like-
PD.
Yeah,
Live
yeah.
PD.
Yeah.
That's rumored to be done too. They're not. It's not even. It's not even. They pulled it off TV.
Well, I mean, 31 years.
I think
is
it's.
enough.
I think it's a bad move.
It's a long time.
I think it's a bad move. Because honestly, like,
Well, I wonder if ratings were still good.
they're awesome.
They
Yeah,
were, yeah.
I think they missed an opportunity here because we clearly, like, not to get too political, but we clearly need some sort of reform when it comes to police brutality. There's clearly an
100%.
issue. There's
I agree with
clearly an
that.
issue. So what cops could have done is focused on what departments are doing to be better and shine a positive light on police.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's why I feel
Yeah.
like it's a bad move. They're
Rather
shutting it
just
down.
cancel.
And honestly, if I'm getting pulled over from the police and I see a TV crew with them, I'm a lot more comfortable.
And that's what shows these production companies don't believe in the police because they're like, we're not going to give you this chance. We're just going to cancel you. It's like they don't believe in it.
Yeah. So I think it's a terrible move. I actually enjoyed watching Cops.
I haven't watched it in years.
I watched quite a bit of
I liked
Live
it.
PD at some
Live
point.
PD.
Too. That's
Live
interesting.
PD got to a point though where people were purposely trying to troll the police.
Oh, to get on the show.
Oh yeah. So there was a guy on 420 that knew Live PD was going to be in his town, and he cut a pair of jeans almost to like the ass cheeks. Right,
like the guy in Reno 911
Yeah.
that sells
Officer
oranges.
Dangle. He wore.
Well, no, there's that character the comedian.
Oh,
has.
Nick Swartz.
Yeah,
Nick Swartz.
yeah.
He's
I'm
the
just
best.
selling oranges.
Gay, is it Gay Terry or
Yeah,
something?
Yeah,
That
it's-
guy,
And
yeah.
he's on roller skates.
He's like,
He's so
He
funny.
is the greatest character on that.
So this guy cut his shorts, wore a ridiculous shirt, I think he cut his hair into a mullet. He made blow-up dolls with Ellen DeGeneres, Bradley Cooper, and somebody else in the car. He was driving around listening to Nickelback on repeat.
Oh God!
And then had on the back of his window, he wrote 420, smoke weed every day. Pretty much
Yeah,
begging
trying to
to be
get
pulled
pulled
over.
over, yeah.
So when the cops pull him out of the car, he has a fanny pack on, and they're like, we're going to give you a field sobriety test. And he goes, okay. And he's purposely bombing the test. And they're asking him all these questions. They're like, do you do drugs? He goes, nope. They're like, are you sure? He goes, my mom would be so angry with me. And like he's messing with the cops. And they're looking in the windows, and they see these blow-up dolls. And he's like, they're like, where are you going? He goes, we're heading to a party. And they're like, we? He's like, yeah, me and my crew. We're going to go tear shit up at this party. They're like, where's the party? I don't know. We're still looking for it, man. Just like messing with the cop.
Yeah.
And then like he was purposely failing the sobriety test. So they were like, well, we legally can't let you in your car. So we're going to have to detain you. Like we're going to have to bring you downtown, possibly do a blood test or anything. Because they can't, like if you're not passing, they can't let you in the car. So they start going through his fanny pack, and he has like a bottle of hot sauce and one cracker,
Just real
like just
off-the-wall
weird
things.
shit in his fanny pack. And like, and the camera crew's like, he's obviously fucking with you.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, taking you downtown. Like, yeah. So Live PD got a little funny with stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cops is off the air. I think it would be good. I thought it would be a good opportunity to show good cops because I think there are good ones out there. and maybe even put it into cities that had problems.
Right, exactly. Show
Yeah.
some kind of reform, or the cops trying to reconnect with the communities, because I do believe there are some good cops, but there is systematic racism, and there is a very big problem with police brutality, and we need to address that. And they could have taken it to where they go into the community, do community outreach, stuff like that, and they could have really did something good for the world, because this is obviously now this is spreading to other countries.
Yeah.
This is like they could have did something good, and instead they just bailed on it. They're like, nope.
Well,
not
one of the
touching
things,
that.
one of the things too that I know cops used to do is they would take the TV camera and go to, like, let's just say the hood,
Trailer park.
or the trailer park, and go to a well-known drug house and just sit outside and wait for someone to walk out of it.
Yeah.
And then pull them over and be like,
I guess it's technically entrapment, but
yeah. And they would do that all the time. Like, oh, we have a traffic stop. Guy ran a red light.
made for good TV.
And then you would walk up. They'd walk up to the car, and the first thing you said, like, "Hey, who do you know at that house?" And they're like, "What do you mean?"
nobody.
He's like, "We know you left a drug house. Like, let's talk about it." Like, but they
Have
pulled him
a
over.
seat.
They pulled him over with the
Have a
suspicion
seat.
of, like, running a red light or not
Yeah,
stopping it
yeah.
long. But they
They'll
knew
follow you for
they-
miles.
Yeah, they knew for a fact
They
that.
used to do that in St. Clair. They park outside
They
that one bar.
follow you in
Yeah.
St. Clair. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was just about to say.
That Roundhouse bar. I don't know what it, or not Roundhouse, and the one that's down the basement.
I was
Cross Keys, and then became.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, now it's
Cross Keys.
nothing.
I was with his younger
It's a
brother.
restaurant
We were
now.
playing Pokemon in St. Clair, and we pulled around in a parking lot and did a U-turn. This cop followed us all the way through St. Clair. Every turn we made followed us until we left town. Like,
Really?
he just
Wow.
chased us right out of
There's
town.
nothing to do.
Yeah,
What are you doing here, Mewtwo?
yeah, just because I turned around in a parking lot.
Yeah,
That was
they-
my offense.
They used to
Yeah.
park by that bar at like 1:45 because everyone got out too to get some drunks. It's like,
Yeah.
come on.
And the last news I have, and then we'll pass it on to you guys, is Evil Dead is in the works. A new Evil Dead.
Evil Dead
But
4.
without Ash.
No, well,
But he's directing.
I don't know if there's gonna
Well,
be no
Bruce Campbell's
Ash.
directing. Yeah, he said no Ash. Ash as
Well, he
He's not
won't.
gonna- yeah.
He won't be Ash.
he said
Yeah.
maybe a new hero,
Yeah.
but not Ash.
Yeah.
Personally, I would like a continuation of the remake. That was fantastic.
Okay.
I never
All right.
watched that.
It was so good, and I wanted to
Do you mean the
direct
show or the movie?
the movie.
Oh,
They remade it where Ash was
but
kind of.
it wasn't funny though, right?
No,
Yeah.
it
It was
was.
serious.
See, I,
It
don't,
was-
I don't want that. If Bruce
it was-
Campbell's involved, I want Goofy.
Well, it was.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell was kind of involved with the remake.
Wasn't he at the end or something?
He did like a boom, baby. Yeah, but him and Raimi were kind of
'Cause,
they
like-
teamed up on it.
Yeah, because I mean that's great, but then
It was
if you want to make a
fantastic.
serious movie, then go make a serious movie and don't use the Evil Dead moniker.
Yeah.
Right.
It was very
I
Evil
want
Dead, but it was
slapstick
serious.
and gore and
Yeah.
goofiness and
Yeah,
I
I,
agree with Andy.
I personally love. I thought it was fucking amazing. It was one of my favorite remade horror movies.
Mhm.
I thought because it did its own thing, but it was so good. They always hinted at the director's cut of that being fantastic, and we just never got it. Like, you know how usually they're like, hey, DVD, and then we'll put out the director's cut later on
Did Sam
Blu-ray.
Raimi direct that too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I saw a breakdown the other day that this, like, while it's good that they're releasing the Snyder cut, that this is going to open floodgates for
That's-
every bad
that's what-
movie to get the director's
that's what I was
cut.
saying.
Yeah.
When these people will never be happy. They'll
No.
want-
Or on the flip side, maybe directors and producers will get the movie they want, and someone who would just be like, we think it's not good enough, cut 45 minutes out of your movie, and the director's like imagine if like we made a podcast and they're like, hey, chop 45 minutes out, and you're like, well, that everything in that means something. Like that was pivotal
Yeah.
to the story. So
it had a point.
maybe I get to the point, instead of everyone demanding a director's cuts, they just say, well, people demanded director's cuts for a reason, because they're being they feel like they're being cheated out of the movie they wanted to watch. We've already sat through 4-hour Avenger movies. Like, so our time does not mean shit to us. You know what I mean?
And
Like,
some
if we're-
movies, like they could have cut half an hour
Yeah.
on Aquaman.
Yeah.
I've been all right.
Yeah.
I sort of agree with you, but I sort of disagree, because there are bad movies with like bad directing, and it's like, okay, let's just get to the point.
Wrap
Yeah,
it up.
shut this off.
Yeah, so I mean, I hope it maybe opens up the door to give directors that liberty and not make them chop up their productions.
Oh, definitely.
I do kind of understand that, but yeah, I mean, sometimes directors do need to be in check. Like, do you ever see Funny People, Judd Apatow's movie?
Yeah.
Would have been a great movie about stand-up if they just took like a half an hour out of it.
Yeah.
It went on so long, and it just got so boring towards the
Dragged.
end. Yeah, it would have been such a good movie about stand-up, because that was actually one of the first movies that got a lot of stuff right, like corporate gigs and open mics and shit like that. So that was cool, but it just went on too long. But I do understand what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
I think directors should have more control over the movies, because it's their movies and people don't have the right to be ripping it apart.
I think writers should have more, because do you know what they do to writers
I
in
agree
movies?
with that too. Yeah.
Writers of movies will sell their script to a movie studio, and then they're not allowed on set.
That's terrible.
Yeah, maybe they should
Most
be a
movies-
partnership then.
Most movies.
Speaking of writers, see, J.K. Rollins is under some heat.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole story behind it. I know
I don't know what's going on.
she destroyed the franchise. Like Harry Potter is going to be fucko.
and you know
Something
what?
about trans women and she's
Yeah,
against or something.
I
Yeah.
have two news. If we want to cut into this, I have two news stories involving
Go ahead.
tweets, and one of them's her. So first of all, with her, this one is a little crazy because she is being crucified. Like she said the worst shit ever. So I went on her Twitter and I went on and I looked up the tweets, and all she was basically saying was that she is a born female. She's been female her whole life, so she grew up with a female perspective, and it helps shape everything she's done, basically. So she's just basically saying that. But the tweet that got her in trouble was people were protesting something, and she was saying about like how there should be a word for people who menstruate, because it was, instead of saying women, it was saying people who menstruate, as in trans women don't menstruate. So she was like, wow, if we only had a word for women that don't or for women that menstruate. She's like, I don't know, let me think. Woobin, like she was just making fun of that a little bit. But then her follow-up tweet made a lot of sense, where she's basically just saying, I've been a woman my whole life that shaped my experiences, stuff like that. She wasn't really necessarily going after the trans community, but they went off the cliff because it has such a liberal fan base.
Yeah.
And it got unfortunate for her. To
I
say
mean,
the
without
least.
digesting it and just hearing it and just taking your word for it, I'm not too
It's
offended
not
by
it
it.
doesn't sound that.
But it doesn't. Once
Yeah.
again, it doesn't have anything to do with my
Yeah.
culture, beliefs, or anything.
Well,
Like, I mean, like,
the best thing, like I said, just lay low for a while. People forget.
because
So much going on in the world, they'll forget.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this one, they seem like they're already starting petitions to
Even-
make.
Like burn
Even-
her books and stuff.
even
Well, no,
like
they're saying
people from the movies are like
Even
like,
Daniel Radcliffe actually
Yeah.
said
Oh.
stuff about it too.
Yeah, and they actually
Yeah.
they started a petition to fans to make Daniel Radcliffe the official author on the books, so
they can't
people
take
don't
her
have.
writing over
That-
her.
that's ridiculous.
just
Right,
that's
they
I don't
wanna-
care if she
out
came
of
out and
line.
she said every ethnic slur she could. Still,
Right.
she wrote the book.
That's
Well,
her.
kind of-
That's
yeah.
her creation.
It's ridiculous.
Well, here's the
yeah.
thing too. Doesn't everyone fucking like idolize the fucking H.P. Lovecraft shit? And he was a huge racist.
Yeah.
They do.
There-
A lot of
yeah.
people like that,
Well,
but they
no,
never read the book.
J.R.R. Tolkien is.
This is because
They
of
both
her,
are. There's not one black person in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
because she's so widely
'Cause they're
appealed
orcs.
to the hyper left, like liberal
Yeah. Bleeding heart
millennials and
liberal,
stuff. Yeah, like it's, and they're all in that age, the college age right now, where they're so hyper liberal. They don't see things are not things are black and white to them. There's never gray areas.
There's
Like,
always, like, even with any topic, there's always, to me anyway, a gray area.
exactly,
And I
It's-
feel like
it's subjective. Everything is subjective.
everyone has a view, and everyone has something to bring to the table, because we each can see it in a different way. And I think just more people should open up dialogue with one another.
And as long and the thing that's
Realistically, yeah.
crazy about all the hate she's getting is she said, "Listen, and it's not to be like I have black friends, because it didn't come off like that, but she's like, listen, I have trans friends. I 100% support your right to be an equal person. I will march with you if you want to get equal right." Like she laid it on the line. I care about trans people. I'm just saying, as a biological woman, my whole life, this frame my perspective. That's all. Like that's.
And once again, I'm the dude, so I have no leg in this fight. But why do we have to talk about menstruation? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. It's like.
I don't think menstruation needs another secret word. I don't know.
Yeah, it's. I mean, we don't.
I know
need
there's
to, we don't need to hide it.
there's women who are all very proud about that, and there's some people who take it to, like, I don't want to say extremes, but like they really
Yeah, like the period art.
yeah,
Ugh.
like period art,
Ugh.
because it's
No.
empowering to women. I don't know.
No.
It's kind of strange. It's blood.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
it's a
no.
thing.
We should
Yeah.
end the stigma where it's dirty, but we don't need to, like, we don't talk about shitting all the time.
Yeah.
Like, we don't. It's like, I'm not saying it's shitting, but
yeah,
it's,
I'm
it's
not,
another
I'm not
it's
saying
another
from a
bodily
man.
function.
I'm not saying from a man like, you don't ever talk about your period.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we're still trying to get over it. Like, it's you know what I
we
mean?
we never talk about like the stuff that gets stuck in our dicks. Like there's lint, there's
It's
hair.
different, though.
Yeah, I'm
different.
just saying we don't.
we can
don't
control what gets stuck in our dick if we just.
I
clean
wouldn't
it.
want piss art or
Not
nothing.
me. Not me. Sometimes I have like really long hairs wrapped around my dick. I'm like, where did that come from? Whose is that?
Yeah. Once again, we have no leg I mean,
Yeah.
you have more of a leg in a fight than we do, but we, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Are you offended by J.K. Rowling's
No.
menstruation?
Were you
No,
offended
I-
by us just now?
No.
Okay. All right. She's
I
just
really
like-
don't get offended easily at all, and I think
Which is
I
good,
think
'cause
she
I'm a
made
fucking
clear what
idiot
she was
sometimes.
trying to say.
Yeah.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, this one is crazy. The one that's and this definitely goes to sexism because she's getting so much shit, and this other guy is getting shit from some people, but this other guy has so many defenders. So Hartley Sawyer was just fired from The Flash for old tweets. And usually I am against cancel culture because it's like if you tweet something 8 years ago when you're a young kid or whatever, like, is that really who you are right now?
Yeah.
Like, I cringe when I see the shit I've posted on Facebook.
Yeah,
and
we
my
were saying
memories.
after the wrestling show, it happened to a wrestler. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's like it's insane. Like literally going through my memories, I don't know who that person is that said that shit. So I usually take that stance, but his shit was crazy. Like it was like incel stuff. Like he was saying like all women belong on sex farms, and like
Was he trying to be funny?
But that's the thing. Everyone's saying he was trying to be funny, but it didn't come off as humor. Like he was talking about like hiding at an audition and he got to see some titties, and it's like, did you
How would
really
you
do that?
post that?
Or like,
Yeah.
it's like it's so cringy and it's so incel and it's like really hyper sexist and stuff like that. And then there's also some racist stuff. So it's like it's kind of weird. It's shitty. It just happened yesterday. I mean, the one thing that happened for both J.K. Rowling and Hartley Sawyer is not a lot of mainstream news outlets care about this stuff right now, so it's going to get kind of buried. But
He's elongated man. If he was Iron Man,
he's a major character on the show, though.
we would be upset about it. Let's hear him
Well,
out.
Iron Man.
So the
Robert Downey had some times in the
Tony
80s.
Stark. So, but yeah, so for any Flash fans, and that's probably the most popular CW show. I'll talk about the.
You know how
good
Robert
CW
Downey
later.
Jr. is untouchable? He did blackface in a movie and no one gave a shit.
Yeah, he talked about that on Joe Rogan.
There's people that were scrutinized that a little bit, and people are actually fighting against that. People being scrutinizing
Well, here's the thing,
whole
and this
thing.
isn't
That's
like
crazy.
this isn't me as like, well, if one person did it, why can't other? But like, White Chicks is a hilarious movie,
Yeah.
and no one gets upset about that.
Yeah.
Where two black guys did whiteface.
Well,
Please do it all. Dave Chappelle did it. It's fucking
Yeah, that's funny. It
hilarious.
was the news reporter.
Do it all the time. It's fucking amazing. Do it. You know
All
what I mean?
movies
Like,
are funny.
now, I do know. I'm sorry to cut you off. I do know why blackface is offensive because it was used to be like in a hateful way. But do I think that comedy should get a pass? Maybe sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
That's actually where I was going.
If you're gonna make a comedy flick and it's done in that aspect or done in a certain way, it's cool. But I do understand why blackface is a problem because back when blackface was a thing, it was instead of casting a black actor, they just had a white
and they
guy
just
and
made fun
play.
of,
And it
With
had,
shoe
it was a
polish
little more
on them.
hateful.
and it was more like we're not going to give you a job to be an actor, so we'll just paint someone to be a black guy.
Yeah.
Which happened during Shakespeare too, where they would men played women. You know what I mean? But
They did.
but the whole and like when it would be most times guy in a blackface, he was like a tribeman or some like a
Hello
criminal.
there!
Yeah, it was
Like a
horrible.
like a Sambo black man.
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say, too, is coming in a more general sense, not to touch on that subject and overbeat it, but in a general sense, I hate when comedians get shit for joking about serious topics because it starts conversations. And, like, if you watch the movie where Robert Downey Jr. is in blackface, they're clearly parodying the fact that he thinks it's okay. They're clearly saying this is not okay. And I think that's something interesting about comedy is you can parody somebody that's ridiculous and you can laugh at it, and you can also start a conversation by laughing at people who are ridiculous. You shouldn't limit yourself. Like that's why I wanted to see his tweets, because I wanted to see if they came off as humor. If they did come off, if they are humor, it's very incel humor, it's very trolly humor, which is not what I'm really into. But I mean, yeah, comics should definitely people should understand that
Every once in a while, it's a pass.
yeah, people should understand there's a big misconception when it comes to jokes and stuff like that. It's a saying that I really hate, that it's all truth is said in jest. And that might be true in a general sense for the average person, but a comedian will say whatever they think is funny.
But
They don't have to mean it.
Or
They-
shocking.
Right. Exactly. A comedian will try to get you to laugh. That is strictly what they live for. If they know they're saying something they completely disagree with, they'll still say it if they think it will make you laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or to get a rise.
I just watched Dave Chappelle's stand up again because I still think I think Dave Chappelle has cemented himself as the greatest of all time.
He's very good.
He
Yeah.
is very good.
Patrice
I'll have
O'Neal's
to
the greatest
watch.
of all time.
I'll have to
but
watch.
Dave Chappelle's new shit is like on another level.
It's
But
very good.
His newest special I didn't love because I felt like it came off like very conservative talking points more than jokes. But he has my favorite joke of all time.
Well, he personally went into it and said, "I'm going to talk about everything that would get people canceled, and if they come at me, I don't give a fuck."
Yeah.
That's how
Out of
all
the woodwork,
comedians
yeah.
should be, though.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. It's my only thing was Dave Chappelle is so original and hilarious, and that came off like something I've heard from conservative talking heads. That's my only point about that. I love Dave Chappelle. He has my favorite stand-up joke of all time, where he's talking about driving through the hood and seeing a baby on the corner selling crack, and he's like, "Hey, wait, what are you doing out there, baby?" And he's like, "You want some crack?" That is the funniest stand-up bit ever. I'm not going to do it to ruin it. Just go watch
They
that.
put that in the
stand-up
third season. The third season that wasn't, but it was. But
Yeah.
well,
bit.
yeah.
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 Well, it was originally his stand-up, and it
Yeah.
is it's one of the funniest stand-up jokes of all time. I think he's hilarious. I completely give him a pass on that special, even though I didn't personally love it.
Yeah. Does anyone have any other news topics they heard of they want to talk about?
Actually, Looney Tunes on
Oh, yeah.
HBO, they're actually replacing Elmer Fudd and Yosemite Sam's guns. Elmer Fudd's going to be carrying a scythe around, and I don't know what Yosemite Sam's going to be, but people are kind of sort of torn because, well, Elmer Fudd's a hunter and Yosemite Sam's a cowboy, so how are you going to blend
Plus,
those in
The
together?
Roadrunner drops anvils on what's his name?
Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah.
See, that's where we're getting.
Would you
too
rather get
ridiculous.
shot with a gun or have an anvil dropped on you?
Or
What do you think you would live from?
Or a
Probably
dude,
getting shot by a gun, depending where you got shot,
or a
right?
dude, do chase you with a scythe. That's
Yeah.
fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
See, the only way I would change them is to make people like that feel ridiculous. I would just put like a dildo instead of a gun, and just have everyone that cares about it look ridiculous.
Or just like change it to lasers.
right, like it's so stupid.
Yeah,
That's
That's gone
so,
too far,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Well, are they going to get rid of Foghorn Leghorn?
I have no idea.
Because he's a clearly racist character.
Apparently, they're going to be coming out with like 200 episodes, like 200 shorts.
I didn't know they made new ones.
Well,
They're going
they're
to.
kind of going like the retro style,
Oh,
like
okay.
the old like 1930s cartoon.
Probably
I
wouldn't,
also
It's gonna be
heard-
pretty
wouldn't go
interesting.
that far back. I would.
No, they're saying, well,
you ever
they
watch
start
some
in
of the
30s.
tunes?
Oh yeah, I've watched them.
Some of the shit in the 30s
I've
is
watched them.
horrible.
I've
Yeah.
watched them. Yeah, I've watched them.
Definitely didn't age
Never
well.
into them.
So in the 30s, before Elmer Fudd was a white guy,
Yeah.
he was pretty much depicted as a dumb slave,
Oh, really?
and he was out trying to catch a rabbit, and it was like the big lips, the
Oh, God.
like the
Sambo.
worst. He was
Full blown.
Sambo depicted as a black dude, and like stupid, like Bugs would.
So they
literally,
just made him white, but he's still
Oh.
the same character.
but it was bad.
It was rough. Yeah, that's yeah.
And then they replaced him with Bugs, and even like with Tweety, like Tweety's at one point the older ones had a housemaid, and it was a black lady,
Oh.
and her name was Mammy or something.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff from back then is like that because like when they made Iron Man, the reason they bailed on the 10 rings concept was because the real Mandarin was such a racist character. When they went through the comics, they're like, wow, this is just stereotypical Asian. Like they were.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was real bad. So they changed the Mandarin for the third Iron Man, which was terrible. But
It was terrible.
I'm glad they're remaking the Shang-Chi movie and doing the real Mandarin now.
Mm-hmm,
But yeah, a lot of shit from back then was awful.
Yeah.
To kind
Yeah.
of touch up on like what you're saying about with like the jokes, like it was like so meta that like it actually works. It's George Carlin always said something. It's like it all depends on how you construct the joke in order for it to actually work. And
If you go back and watch old Eddie Murphy,
Yeah.
on Delirious,
Oh.
they would
Oh,
never
yeah.
be able to.
oh my god, no
played
way.
today.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like there was
He says like the F word for gay people like
Yeah.
45 times.
oh yeah,
Yeah, a
and
lot.
ever since then, like he actually apologized for
Yeah.
that stand up overall. Like
You
There
know
you go.
why? Because people change and they realize words.
yeah,
No
do you-
one's shutting
but
down-
Do you,
you know what I
do you
mean?
also know why?
Yeah, when he got
You-
caught with that tranny prostitute.
not only the tranny prostitute, he left show business
not
because
I think tranny's bad. I think that's a bad.
yeah,
word.
he said it. I was
Yeah.
just repeating it. Everyone cancel Andy. No?
Yeah.
There goes all your bookings.
Yeah, well, I think that's what they called her at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're thinking of the Howard Stern thing.
We're not educated in certain
Yeah.
what are bad words.
He
He
was-
we're learning as people. We're
He w-
evolving.
He was caught in the car with a transgender person
There you
that he
go.
said he was giving a ride home to, and he was so pissed that this story got covered that he literally said, "I am done with show business. whatever goes on in my private life, I want to have done in my private life. So people said that he left show business to start having sex with transgender people in the privacy of his own home. Like, that's really what they're saying.
Do you, boo boo? If that's what you're into,
Yeah, more power to him. I think he should come back. I thought he was hilarious in all his movies.
When he came back on Saturday Night Live, it was a welcome.
And it was kind of weak. I wish he would have did some bits, but
he signed a massive contract with Netflix for stand-up. That's why he did that.
Really?
I'm not gonna lie.
Is it ever coming out?
Let me see how much money that was for, but the production's probably delayed with COVID. But
I'm not gonna lie, but like at least seeing Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live after being on not being on there for so long was kind of nice seeing it.
And he made the show back then when he was on it.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood.
I don't know. I think Eddie was good, but like when I think SNL and I think of my top 10, I don't put Eddie Murphy anywhere in the top 10. That's just me
How many
personally.
years was Eddie Murphy on? I don't know.
He was like in
Not
like
real
the
long, was he?
late 70s, early 80s, roughly about there. And then like what I grew up with like Sandler, Farley, Chris Rock, like that,
That
like
was
90s.
really firing.
Spade.
Oh, and then like Will Ferrell was like when you're
The early
getting near
2000s
the end, like,
real good too, and then it
early
was just
2000s Will Ferrell and Horatio Sands was even good too. They that was a stellar cast, and then
Some of the new stuff is pretty good.
I haven't watched in years.
okay.
But a lot of their writers went on to become like their own stand-ups, so they lost a lot of really talented writers.
yeah.
Where a lot of people now are like, why would I write for SNL when I can just go do my shit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And their SNL is also very famous for underpaying their cast
Yeah.
and writers and
Yeah.
stuff like that. That's why Andy Samberg left. But yeah, so that I just read the
didn't
thing.
know
It's
that.
because he wasn't making enough. He was like making these stupid movies that no one watched, and he was getting so much more money than he was getting for SNL. So he just decided to do his own thing.
All right.
You could get a basic writing job in Hollywood on a movie, never be seen on screen, and they get paid more than SNL. SNL,
wow.
yeah, famously gets paid low. Like the showrunner, Laurie, I forget his first name.
Lorne Michaels.
Lorne Michaels, yeah, he's like, if you can make more money, go somewhere else. I don't care. Like, that's literally how he treats
He's
it.
like, oh, we'll give you opportunity.
Because he plucks the cast right out of stand-up clubs and improv theaters.
shows,
yeah. So he doesn't care. But I was just reading that about Eddie Murphy. They don't say how much it was for, but it was a multi-million-dollar
the thing
stand-up
too
deal.
is you have back in the day where it's kind of like wrestling, where WWE was the only show in town, and if you were a stand-up comic or an improv guy, the main show in town was SNL, and that's the point now where like I can go on YouTube and get 2 million subs. All right,
down the wrong pipe.
Oh man.
all right, dying over here.
Super AIDS.
How big are you? So big. Yeah. So the backstory to him coughing and freaking out is like he got sick for a couple weeks. Like he didn't have obviously COVID. We're all like, stay the fuck away, you sick son of a bitch. And his
I'll
first
never
day
know
back,
if I actually had it
he's
or not,
coughing,
but-
and we're all like sliding
We're like,
our chairs down. No, you
the veil up.
definitely went down the wrong pipe. I seen as soon as you swallowed it went haywire. But yeah, I completely forgot what I was saying something about you could be on YouTube and you can pretty much get the same exposure.
Yeah, if you have a killer set and there's 30 people there, but you just upload to YouTube, people are like, whoa,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yep, 100%. So, any other news?
I got a video game release from Special Reserve Games. It's a beat 'em up called Mother Russia Bleeds. It's usually what Special Reserve does. They'll get like Steam only exclusives and make them physical games.
It was downloadable because it's on PS4.
Right, so it's all
Download.
like there's downloadable games, but if you want the physical edition with like all the doodads like limited run or strictly limited, Special Reserve does that as well. They're coming out with that on June 23rd, 12 p.m. Central Time.
Okay.
So there's about 13 days and 15 hours since this goes up.
Okay.
So you got a lot of time left. Pick it up. It looks really awesome.
Oh, our Kickstarter, Andy, just hit another goal. We're getting a bookmark or something.
They hit so many, I lose track.
And we're really close to the sticker now, too.
Which we'll definitely get. Because
Yeah.
the Lady Death one had 3 stickers in it. So
Yeah.
this is
I have
a little more to Kickstarter for people.
I have to
It's a
put
comic
down
book.
a movie for The Last Faith. Are you going to get that, Andy? The Last Faith, that like...
Did you realize what you just said?
What?
You have to put down a movie for The Last Faith?
Yeah, you confused me. I had no idea.
Wow.
What you were
Yeah. I was like, what are you talking about,
I was going
man?
to say, did you
Money.
put money down? Yeah.
Yeah, there's no physical, so I just bought the
I
bottom.
thought there was physical for that. No, you're thinking of the other game.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're
And there's a
thinking
new
the
one
other
called
game,
with
yeah.
Pirate Rats. It's an RPG, Metroidvania. A Sea of Rats or something like that.
Oh,
It looks
yeah,
pretty good.
I did- yeah, you told me about
Yeah.
that before. When does that?
I'm gonna pull it
when
up
does
on-
that finish?
pull it
then?
up on my
Yeah, go
iPad
ahead.
here.
So when it comes to watching and playing anything, I'm gonna be honest. The only thing I really played was Call of Duty Warzone. It's the only thing I'm really playing. Actually, no, I got one thing that's kind of different. Me and my brother were playing, and he's like, "Yo, you want to try Madden? We're gonna play a game against each other." And we haven't played Madden against each other in forever. And I was like, "Fuck it, let's do it." So we jump on, and there's a new game mode on Madden. So if you're a Madden player, this probably means nothing to you. But if you have Madden, you're looking to maybe try it out again before the new one comes out. I hope this game mode carries over. But it's called KO mode or knockout mode. And you can play 3-on-3, where all 3 people are on one team and 3 people on another team. You can do 1-on-1 or you can do 2-on-2. So what this does is, when you jump into the game, you pick a style of team, like your playbook, your coach. You pick normally 1 offensive player or 2 and 1 defensive player, and then you get like a chance for a rare or legendary or a fantasy character.
Oh, cool.
They put them on your team.
Legendary, like Theismann or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, like older school players like Mean Joe Green and all these other like old
that's
school
neat.
NFL alumni, Barry Sanders and stuff. And then some of the fantasy players are like Migo, or whatever his name
Jim
is.
Thorpe.
DJ Khaled is one of them. Yeah.
Like DJ Khaled.
Yeah, Khaled. Thank you. Yeah, Khaled. Like all these rappers you could put on your team.
His thing in that he does at the beginning of
No,
every song.
no,
Oh, that's
another
so
one.
sad.
Yeah, I was doing it over the microphone when we had him as our quarterback. But then when you win games, you can keep adding more players to your team, and then the longer your win streak goes, the better your team gets. So you can get to a point where you have like 5-10 wins, and say if I beat Ben's team and he has a player I want, I can then take that player, add it to ours, and then go to the next random game and see if we could beat somebody.
Does your team then get bigger as you steal players? So
Yep.
then you could have like 6 versus like 3.
Well, no, it's still full 11 versus 11. So they
Oh.
randomly put other players on your team.
Oh, I
But
see.
then you have 3 key players that like.
Oh,
so like
okay.
That
when
you can keep.
Yeah, so when say if I'm playing a game and I have a quarterback, and on defense I have a linebacker or a cornerback, you could be like, oh, that player over there is your good player. I'm going to try to make sure all of our plays go to this side of the field. So like as you get bigger, you can put more key players, so it makes the strategy harder.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
It would be funny if they made it like really authentic, like they made a rapper a wide receiver and he just goes over the middle for a crossing route and someone takes his head off.
Yeah. But yeah, and then like with their very like it's sudden death game. So if you score on defense, like if you pick 6 the first play, you win the game. But if they come down and score on offense, and then you have to go for 2, then you have a chance to score offensively. If you don't score, then you lose the game.
So like the shitty overtime rules.
Yeah. So then if you don't score, or you both score, or you don't score on those 2 drives, it goes into a tug of war mode where no matter like the end zones are normal, and wherever you have 1 play each down. So if you score and you gain 40 yards, he has to go from where you last spot it, and then he has to try to make it to the other end of the field. And if at each play, the end zones get smaller and smaller and smaller, or bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's like they're quick, fast-paced games.
Gotcha.
But they're a lot of fun. So that's the only thing really. I've been playing. Like I said, I've been watching old stuff on Netflix that I've already seen before.
Like what kind of old stuff, Tony?
Like I watched Tiger King again for some reason.
Okay.
I watched the Dave Chappelle stand up.
Did you ever see the movie Slate? Or Slate? I mean, it's like it's called. It's about it's a really good movie that I just watched it the other day. I
Is
think
that the WWE movie?
it is WWE production, and that's because I shit on one of the WWE movies a few episodes ago where I talked about Oculus, the stupidest fucking movie
Oh
I've
yeah,
ever seen in my
Oculus,
life.
yeah.
They deserve it.
But yeah, but
Slight looked good.
Slight is very good. It's about a young magician who he loses both parents. He loses his mom second, so he's left to care for his young daughter and or young sister, and he turns down college scholarships, but he helps take care of her by being a drug dealer and a street magician. And then his sister ends up getting kidnapped because of the drug dealers or whatever, not to go too deep into it. And he has to use magic to get her back. It's really good.
Oh, ooh la la.
It's actually a very good movie.
But it's to the point where his magic kind of looks like legit superpowers.
It's not corny. It's right in the first
They try and
scene,
make
so
it
it's not
realistic enough, but it's actually believable.
It's right. in
Or
one
is
of
the thing
first-
like he might actually have magic?
That's
No, it's not. That's
the
not how it
trailer
is.
looked like
Because
that.
I'm a
One
fan
of
of
the
No
that.
magic?
one of the very first scenes covers it, so it's not not a spoiler. What he has an electromagnet in his arm that he put in there, and then later in the movie they explain where it comes from. But it's basically a magnet, so he can move and manipulate metal.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a big fight scene where it looks like he has superpowers, but it's this electromagnet in his arm.
Okay.
Like he even goes
Interesting.
to his science teacher to amp up the power.
Oh.
It's a very good
Ooh.
movie. Yeah, it's a very
I
good
never
movie.
heard
Talk
of it.
about back alley mechanics there, man.
Yeah, it's very solid for people that like sci-fi movies. It doesn't start off sci-fi,
Oh,
but then
that's
it gets
cool.
there. Yeah.
That's cool.
Any WWE stars in it?
No.
Okay.
Yeah,
They've been
yeah
doing
it's
that
just
now
a
where
production
they
company.
They make
Yeah.
the movies, but there's no wrestlers in it.
I
Which is
don't
good.
know if they might have given up on it, but they were really. It was the same year they released Oculus.
You know what's funny?
They released a lot of movies that year.
They have all these WWE guys who have become actors, and they're never in any WWE
Yeah.
movies. Like John
They're
Cena's,
both-
Just wondering.
They're
John
above
Cena's
that.
never done a WWE movie.
Yeah, they never
Neither
will.
has The Rock.
Yeah.
No, John Cena did the.
Oh, the Marine. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Marine.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but not since he's become big
John
time,
Cena.
yeah.
Bigger,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, while you're there, do you have anything else you've watched or you're into right now?
Yeah, so speaking of watched, so we talked about the bad CW news. The good CW news is they picked up a show from it was originally produced for the DC Universe called Stargirl, and
Okay.
it essentially covers the Justice Society of America, but
Okay.
the very first scene of the very first episode is the Justice Society getting murdered. So
Wow.
it's like, but so here's why I like this series, because it is so uniquely DC in the fact that it's like it's like a teen superheroes. They're starting the young JSA. That's what the first season's about, is starting the young JSA. But it still covers serious topics. Like there's like the JSA was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
There's deaths throughout the series, like without saying who. There's a kid that gets killed. There's there's people that get killed. So it's not like campy where
Just made it up.
it's not like campy where there's like
Robin always dies. That's why I just said as a joke. Robin.
I don't think he's in this.
No,
There's no Batman.
So
or
far,
Justice Society.
They're all dead.
yeah. So
No,
there-
then he wasn't in the Justice Society.
Oh, but he's saying that they're replacing Justice League because the Justice League is all dead.
it's Justice Society.
No,
yeah,
yeah,
that's a
yeah,
totally
it's
different.
different.
Yeah, it's different. The only one that you would really recognize in there is the Flash, basically. But it's like it's gonna be Stargirl, Doctor Midnight,
Wildcat,
the robot who's the stepdad, who's played by Luke Wilson. He plays an awesome character in the show. It's an awesome series. It's the best thing, probably the best show through 4 episodes that DC's ever released. The only thing that I'm worried about.
Did you watch Swamp Thing?
I did, and it's up there because Swamp Thing was made for DC Universe, so was this. It has the same production value, which is like really high. It has really good production value. It has really good CGI. The only thing I worry about is the CW is owned by Warner Brothers, and they might move it full time to CW, and I hope they don't start producing it like they do the Arrowverse shows, because the CGI sucks, the production value sucks.
The thing is that a rumor too is they said there's a very high possibility that maybe DC is going to merge their movie universe and the DC network and a lot of that stuff, and maybe even do like a combo where if you buy one you get the other one as a combo deal. It's just rumors, it's not true, it's not 100% or anything, where if you buy HBO Go they might have a
like
package
how
deal.
the ESPN and Disney Plus is.
Yeah.
The
makes
Arrowverse shows constantly try to merge everything together because, like Crisis on Infinite Earths, the special this year, the crossover event this year, they showed a glimpse of Stargirl with the young JSA. So that was the first view of them in the Arrowverse. But they brought in Ezra Miller's Flash. They brought in they did a whole
they
bunch of
teased
different
everything
worlds.
because every DC thing exists in a different multiverse.
But Stargirl was so good that it was originally for DC Universe, and then the CW was like, we really like this, so let's put it on our network. So what they do is it airs Monday on DC Universe, and then they put it on Tuesday.
Okay.
The only thing that I worry about is if people don't start watching it on the CW, are they going to kill it? And it's like the best show they've ever made so far. It would really suck if they it's like a teen superhero show, so it's not like super graphic, but it does touch on adult stuff, and it's very, very good. So I just hope that it doesn't get squashed out or they ruin the production value, because so far, like the Robot Man looks great, all the CGI is great, but with the Flash and stuff like that, like the CGI is poor, the production value is poor, it comes off kind of corny.
I think he's Stripes or something, right?
Who?
The robot guy?
I forget they don't really cover his name too
Stars
much.
and Stripes, I think.
Oh yeah, it might be because
Yeah.
because before Starman was Starman, he was a Star
Yeah.
Spangled Boy. The Easter egg for that is in the show.
Does anyone know anything about Umbrella Academy when that's coming?
July.
I think it's soon, right?
I don't know anything about it
July.
at all.
Yeah, neither
Like-
do I.
Early July.
I know
you should check-
0% about that
You should
show.
watch it on Netflix. It's really good. It's really good.
I have
Well,
to
it's
watch
early
that.
July.
I have
I'll
so
have to check
much.
it out.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Mandalorian season 3 in October, by the way.
What's
So
that?
that Mandalorian season 3 is set for October.
Yes, October. Just real
Or
quick.
season 2? Season,
Season 2 Mandalorian.
yeah, season 2, yeah. 3 is being made.
Just
Yeah.
to finish
3
the
has
Stargirl
started.
thing real
I
quick.
have a question about that. That's
Sure.
what I wanted to ask. Is
Okay.
JSA before Justice League? Or
They
two-
don't talk about the Justice League. It's just the JSA, but they do show like Jay Garrick's Flash. They show his helmet, but his face is blurred out. But they said that he does that anyway because he blurs his face
Yeah,
with
that's-
speed
he
to
does.
hide his identity. But they don't talk about that. So they're saying that they might, if CW picks this up, they might merge it with the Arrowverse. But it's showing different heroes, and it's like the lesser known DC heroes. Like I said, Dr. Midnight. There's going to be Hour Man. There's
Yeah.
the villains or
Mr.
Icicle.
Terrific. Well, Mr. Terrific's already in.
So they have two different things. Like Marvel just has the Avengers. So then DC just because I know some titles in DC, not all titles.
Well, there's tons of
It
different
was-
versions of the
well,
Avengers
the Justice
too.
Society was from Earth 2, right?
Yeah,
So-
they're from Earth 2 originally.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there's like
and
Justice
then
League,
they
there's
merged them
Justice League America,
together,
there's-
where that they were in the 40s and the 50s, and then Justice League took over in like the 70s,
Oh.
and then
And
they took it apart, and they put it back together again.
Yeah.
So it's whatever.
And it is sort of
Justice League Dark.
it
There's
does-
a whole bunch of different.
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
does fall into the Justice League format because their enemy in this is the Injustice Society of America.
Yeah.
So it's like it's Icicle. The Wizard is in this. Like,
So
we're
I'm
not gonna
assuming
say
in
what
this,
happens
like,
to the Wizard, but-
Superman and no one, they don't exist yet. Maybe Wonder Woman exists.
Yeah, I hope if they bring it to the Arrowverse, I hope they do it right, and I hope they keep the production, because it seems like what they do in the Arrowverse is they hire the same production company for all the shows.
Yeah, they do it there.
So it looks the same. It's in the same universe. I hope they don't do that with this, because what they did with this was like they hired well-known actors. First of all, Amy Smart plays the mom. Luke Wilson plays the stepdad.
Wow,
Oh.
Amy Smart, what a 90s like throwback. Damn.
Yeah, yeah. Like they hired well-known people, and it has like the cinematography is really good, the CGI is really good. I just hope they keep it the way it is. I hope they don't merge it, honestly.
So they coexist at the same time on different Earths.
Right,
basically.
but
Okay.
with the Crisis with Infinite Earths on the Arrowverse, and this is the reason they're trying to. People are saying it's going to merge, is because during the Crisis event, all the Earths merged into
Yeah,
one.
it was
because-
DC saying we have too much and it's too confusing. There's two Flashes, there's two Superman, so we gotta bring this all in.
Yeah, so they
Okay,
brought them
I
all
didn't see
onto
it
one.
yet.
Yeah,
So what they did is that
the
it's
Green
one
Arrow
Earth, and they
sacrifices
killed off a
himself.
bunch of people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I did hear that they killed off a lot
and then
of
they
people.
they brought all the worlds back again. There's 52 planets again. Or
Yeah.
52 realities.
Oh, nice.
I hope people don't push them too far on that, because it would be a plot hole to air
Yeah.
both shows, but I don't care.
Yeah,
it's
it's
such
too
a
confusing.
good show. Leave it alone. It's like I said, they're each episode now they're recruiting a new member to the young JSA. So
Oh, that's
last
cool.
night it was Wildcat, and
Yeah.
the next episode is probably going to be Dr. Midnight.
Oh, that's
Has
cool.
anyone watched the Titans? Like not Teen Titans, but Titans.
The one that was on DC app? No,
Yeah.
I heard that was pretty good though.
Yeah, I'd never seen it.
I want to see the Harley Quinn cartoon, which I think comes
Yeah,
out on Blu-ray
when
this
when
month.
Robin drops the hard F bomb.
Yeah, Doom Patrol on the DC universe was pretty fun.
I heard
That's
that's
another
good
one,
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check it
I want to
out.
watch Stargirl.
DC Universe's stuff is a lot better than the CW's. Like, it's definitely more DC.
Swamp Thing was fucking amazing.
This is in line with that, because it's very uniquely DC in the fact that like the Teen Avengers or whatever, there's
Yeah.
never murder, everyone gets arrested or whatever. This covers murder and stuff like that. So
So
it's
Ben,
very good.
What do you got?
What do I got? I've been only watching like some YouTube stuff. I've been watching the Chili Chump, which is like this British guy that
Oh boy, here we
it's
go.
this British guy that actually makes his own hot sauce, and he does it fermenting with like just regular salt, and like you should see how he does like all like this different sauces and all, which is pretty wild. I'm like, it's just like one of those things. Like I'll just like watch something. It's like, oh, this all right. I'll watch how to make hot sauce, and
The things
lo and
Ben's into.
behold, like,
Contact. Well, speaking of hot sauce, that's a crazy segue. I don't know why this just popped in my head, but Tim Myers from Hotheads Hot Sauce just had a shout out from Bert Kreischer.
Who is Bert Kreischer?
oh yeah,
The Machine. The company.
He's a comedian, yeah.
Okay.
I guess Bert Kreischer is a big hot sauce guy. And he loves hot sauces, and he said, "Oh yeah, I talked to this guy named Tim Myers. He has a company, Hotheads Hot Sauce. He makes hot sauce out of his house. Really cool dude. I love his hot sauces. They're delicious. They taste fantastic, and
that's
you
great.
guys should check him out." So Bert Kreischer gave him a love. Showed some love to him.
Yeah,
That's really awesome.
Bert Kreischer really talks about cooking a lot too, because he said he told this story where he told on Pat McAfee where like how good of a friend Joe Rogan is. He's like, I was thinking about smoking some food and getting into that because he was really into cooking.
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
So Joe Rogan sent him a smoker. He bought him like a $5,000 smoker. And had it shipped
People
to his
have to be
house.
careful when they say stuff around Joe Rogan.
Because
if you're like, oh my god, I love this, he'll be like, cool, and then he'll just like keep talking to you, and then the next day you're at your house, there's fucking 13 packages.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So
yeah,
people
he
are
said
like,
that's a friend Joe Rogan is. You can never mention what kind of stuff you want around him.
I'm gonna be honest. If this podcast
If I
ever
meet
takes,
Joe Rogan, I'm gonna tell him a few things.
yeah,
And
I'm gonna be honest. If this podcast ever fucking blows up, I'm probably gonna be that. If I ever get to the point where I have money more than I know what to do with, I'm going to be that person. I'm just being
Nice.
honest. That's just
Harley Quinn is. I'm just bringing this up.
Yeah.
It is on DVD, but not Blu-ray, and it's out right now. I'm gonna order that.
nice. It's really good.
I haven't really been playing anything really. I actually ordered a mini synthesizer and like some like fun little like beat machines from like Sweden, and I'm actually going to be trying to do that, trying to experiment. That actually came in the mail today, so I see like it's like this little mini like synthesizer where you can make like your own beats and stuff and make your own music. So I was planning on doing that, and the little mini it's called a pocket operator from Teenage Engineering. You could actually make your own music, and it does like the one that I particularly got was called Arcade. So you play like arcade noises, and you can make your own beats through that. Then
Ben's
you're
gonna be,
looking-
Ben's gonna be in his basement in his beat lab.
If you're looking for any guidance with that, I actually know this kid Garrett that really he creates and sells beats. He moved out to Denver and everything for it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Cool. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Yeah, while I'm making my dandelion wine
he's a
Yeah.
good friend of mine. I can put you in contact.
and reading my fucking Nintendo, like my Nintendo powers from like 20 years ago.
when you're drunk on dandelion wine.
Yeah.
What a dandelion wine.
So what have you been up to, Ree?
Still playing
Oy
Animal
vey.
Crossing. Still playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm almost done.
Did you get all your villagers?
No, I'm still working on that. I got 2 of them.
Nice.
Well, 1.5. 1.5.
Well, I have.
No, Coco moved in, so now moving on to the 3rd one. I just
I'm
remembered.
done. All my villagers are there.
That's
I got
awesome.
Ralph or Rolf.
Rolf.
So if whoever needs cards, you could take a bundle of cards. I don't. need them.
Deli's like, yo, I'm thinking about leaving. I'm like, okay, bye. Too bad you weren't here when fucking Sherb was there, because I wanted Sherb.
I bet you're mad about
how-
that.
I'm salty about that.
How much do you need to do when it comes to this month with all the new bugs and fish?
Okay, so I practically got all the bugs and mostly all the fish.
I only need one bug.
What's the bug?
I need the
Fleece
one
them?
that. Well, I don't know about the nighttime ones. I have to check, but I think during the day when I was playing today, the only bug I need is the one that's on the palm trees.
Oh, the Goliath.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Goliath beetle.
At
You
night.
just gotta really
I ran around for fucking ever, and it was not popping up on my palm trees.
when you least expect it, that's when they'll show up, and
Julie.
and then when you see it, you run and you're like, fuck,
Yeah.
and you're scared
I
away.
planted a whole bunch of coconut
Palm trees, yeah.
And then the only fish I need is the one river fish. I don't remember which one.
I
it
need
is.
the piranha.
Not the Doraldo, the other big one.
Dorado.
No, I have that one. The other one,
S-
the red and black one.
Geraldo?
There's
No,
2
the
that
re-
start with an A. There's an arowana.
Yeah, there's like a big. It's like a big red stripe one.
Maybe the
I
other
think that one.
It's
the
an ex-
arowana one.
The other one. I can't pronounce
Well, I
it.
can tell you right now.
Arpaima. Or
No,
I
you
think
have
it's
that
That's
app,
what
eh?
it is.
Yeah.
Arpaima.
I,
Yeah.
I use this app.
I caught so many of those. I caught like 6 of
I
those
keep getting
fucking
them.
things. That's nutty.
I need a saw shark, a giant snakehead, and
Caught that
the
already.
Saddled.
Arapamia.
I need a saddled
Arapaima.
bircher.
I can't see the name.
Arapaima.
And
I
then,
only need a
uh,
piranha. That's
and then
it.
I guess right now, being the time, I need one of these saddled birches.
Saddle
That's what I
bircher.
need too. What does that look like? Can I
It's
see
like
that a
really
little
like
closer?
fucking dinosaur.
Oh, yeah, I need.
Yeah, it's like like it has like Stegosaurus
I can't
spikes
get
on the
it.
back of it.
I got
I
my
need-
whale shark today, so I have 2 of those.
Man, I caught. You know what? The first thing I caught when they released the sharks, I caught a hammerhead, I caught a great white, and I caught like so much shit. Like
Yeah,
so many of the sharks right off the
Summer
bat.
blazing going on
Neighbors
somewhere.
having a little bit of fun out there.
Yeah,
I was wondering what that was.
I'm starting to get some munchies.
Must be a skunk out there.
Yeah, it must be the happy skunk.
Okay, keep going.
I guess they're eating ass. I don't know. But.
What?
So I need
What's
those.
the
Eating back.
connection there?
So I still need those fish. Hopefully I can find them.
Good job, Bree. Way to get
And-
me back on track.
Yeah.
And I'm still playing Final Fantasy. Just about done that. Chapter 14. Going to the dawn.
Yeah, they were.
I'm trying to.
I had to find him. He's missing.
Oh, you had to. Yeah,
I
okay,
have to
yeah.
find him. That game will be done pretty soon too.
Did you didn't drive the motorcycle yet? Again, for the
Not
second
this-
time?
No,
Okay,
not
okay,
for the
okay.
second time. That's coming up. I guess I'll see that roach again.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, he comes back. I didn't like the motorcycle thing.
I think it was fun.
Yeah. Did you see? Oh no, you didn't. Oh
I
yeah,
don't
when
care
when,
if it's
when they
spoiled.
when they dropped the plate,
Yes.
did you see the little cat guy?
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, and he's like, oh no,
He was
that's
so
Cat
sad.
Sith. Yeah,
What-
he Cat Sith. He rides a big giant stuffed animal guy.
I was
He's
wondering-
like
you get him
he's
in
supposed
7,
to be
yeah.
a Mog.
Yeah,
he's
he is
supposed
like
to be like a
magic.
fat Mog.
Yeah,
He's really
And
cute.
he's like a secret agent.
Is that what he is?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
he
was-
like works for Shinra, but then he turns on Shinra.
Oh, does
So
he?
you get him. Well, you get him probably the next one.
So he'll be a part of my party.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
And
Oh, that's
he
gonna
rides
be
the big
neat.
white thing. And it's like he's a big fat.
Is
Moogle.
your
and he has a megaphone for weapons.
is your
I can't
progress going to carry over from?
See, I
game
don't
to
know
game?
because if it's on the next system, I don't know how it's going to work.
I was
They
wondering
really
that.
really should be a priority, especially for
Saves,
that.
saves carry. I mean, because I know
That makes sense.
Mass Effect all carried over.
No, but they're
and-
all on 360.
Oh, yeah, but even if you carried over to Andromeda, I believe
They're gonna
they
figure-
carried-
No,
They
there
should
was
figure
nothing
that
to
out.
Andromeda.
Our Witcher 2 carried over to Witcher 3 because when you start Witcher 3, it says you want your Witcher 2 progress.
Isn't
with
Witcher
you.
2 also on 360?
I think the Witcher 2 was 360 and the Witcher was on the
Oh,
next
Xbox
gen.
One was
Yeah,
it?
I
Yeah,
believe so.
I don't know how because if you're saved on an old hard drive, even if you're saved on the cloud, that's the cloud hard drive for that system and not the new system. You know what I'm saying?
For PlayStation, yeah, Xbox is a little different
But it's like
because if I have a game that I played for the 360 and I moved it to the cloud,
Yeah.
and then I played on my Xbox One, it'll find that cloud and reload it.
Yeah.
but not if it's like
Yeah.
let's say it was Halo 3, right? And your
Mhm.
save, and then the new one is Halo 7. That's saved on the old the cloud storage for 360 and not the cloud storage for Xbox
Microsoft
One.
puts it all together.
Are you sure it's
Yep.
all one?
Yep.
I don't know.
Because there's games that I played on my 360, and then Xbox is like, "Hey, this game's available because you paid for it digitally already, so you can download it right now and play it." So I download it and I
Yeah.
upload it, and it says checking for cloud saves, and it carries my game right over.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
How about that?
I was wondering because there was that big format disc that took like 5 years to download, and then I got to play the game. So would it save on the format disc? Can you just take the format disc over? I
No,
don't know.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it would save your hard drive.
I'm not-
or the cloud.
And there's
But I don't know if the
I'm
cloud-
not saying I just don't know how it works. So for
Yeah.
Xbox, it does save like a mirror image of your game save, right?
Okay.
But if I delete the game off my system and then I reinstall it, my save data is still there.
Yeah, that's how PlayStation
Because
is too, yeah.
Mhm.
your save data goes to the cloud, but the game doesn't.
So no, there's a different thing on PlayStation. There's save data and there's game data. And it
Right.
even say you can delete the
Yes.
game, and it'll say your save data will still exist.
Yes,
Well, even
'cause
if
I
you
had to
delete,
do-
even if you delete your save data,
Oh, if it's on the
Xbox
cloud, yeah.
Xbox puts your data
Yeah.
of your game on the cloud. So even if it transfers to another system, the cloud links to your
Yeah,
account and it's there.
So that's how they'd have to do it.
Yeah,
Does PlayStation have a cloud? I've
Yeah.
never noticed.
they do, but I'm not sure how it works with.
Okay.
It's
I
kinda
never
like-
delete a
because
save
I mean, realistically,
unless I'm not playing a game like it's scrap game
Yeah.
or something.
this is going to be the first PlayStation where they have a chance to do that and carry it over, because a lot of your stuff from like PS3 didn't carry over to PS4,
Yeah.
Right.
and even a lot of their online stuff didn't really carry. Like some of the stuff didn't. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting to see how PlayStation carries everything over.
Pretty
They were
much
mostly doing hard drives, which is why
Yeah.
a lot
pretty
of it
much
didn't
what they
cover
would do, they would
carryover.
get your sorry for cutting you off.
It's all
Matt.
good, bud.
But they would get your profile, like if you had it for so long, they would have that save state or those trophies on there, but you really couldn't carry over. I don't think you were able to carry that over because
Yeah, you
some
can.
of the game.
I
what?
play PlayStation 3 games right now and get trophies. And
Oh,
goes
no,
around my
no,
thing.
no. But I mean, like for PlayStation, like if you wanted to play on the PlayStation 4.
Oh
from
no,
the
you can't play
PlayStation
the
3
game.
But that's what I
No,
mean. That's what
no.
I mean. What they do is they keep that save state. It's like, okay, these games are for PlayStation 3. They kind of like section it off, like where it's like, all right, this is PS4, and then there are certain games that are PS3 that's specifically for that, but they don't go. They carry over
Yeah.
save wise and trophy wise, but they don't carry over the game overall.
Yeah, so that's where
Honestly, I don't know. Like if I had a save for like Uncharted 2, right, and that you could download Uncharted 2 for PS4, I don't think the save would carry.
No,
No.
I don't think it would.
Well, see,
But it is a different game then.
that's
It's a different
that's
file.
where
Mhm.
Xbox is, like I said, is a little different
Yeah,
because
I don't even know if like it would do third party ones. I don't know.
yeah, So like for just an example, like if I have Halo 3, right, and I paid for Halo 3 digitally on my system, or even if I didn't pay digitally, and I put the game in the new system now, and Xbox has worked that backwards compatibility in, it does carry over.
Yeah, but like I wonder, like you can get Symphony of the Night for Xbox One. I have it for 360.
Mm-hmm.
If I download it on my Xbox One, the save probably won't work.
I'm not sure.
But like that's a Konami game, so
Yeah, I'm not
Stick
sure.
in this campaign.
But I mean, I wouldn't be a stickler if that like. But
Yeah.
no, I understand.
Yeah, I'm not. I'd have to experiment with that. But anything else you're playing or into?
So I'm still watching Community, still watching Glee, but I start Space Force finally, and I'm almost done that.
There's
Really?
some.
You like it?
There's some weird stuff going
I
on with
like
Space
it.
Force. Have you read anything about this?
I did.
About how
So-
The
Netflix
trademark.
is gonna win
Nef-
the trademark. Yeah.
Netflix actually owns the trademark to the Space Force.
Yeah.
The military's gonna have to change their name.
They
Well,
have.
That's
I think when
hilarious.
Trump said it, he was just being a
Messing
goofball.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Netflix was like, oh, we'll trademark it, and yeah, they can.
Yeah.
Steve Carell actually created the series. So when Trump said that he created this series, Space Force, and they filed for the trademark and won.
That's
I think
awesome.
that's funny.
Yeah.
That's really
I
funny.
haven't
like
watched
4
that. I want to.
I'm like 4 episodes in. It's pretty good.
I want to watch
Yeah, I
that.
like
And what's
it.
the one? What We Do in the Shadows, where it's like
Yes.
the Vampire Office.
I want to
Oh,
watch
yeah.
that
Oh,
too.
I wanna
yeah.
watch
There's like a
that.
Nate on there, like a Nate.
I
Yeah.
will.
character
I will
from
say
the
for
later
Space
Office.
Force, there was a scene in one of the episodes that literally had me crying, laughing. Did you see it yet?
No.
Okay, so they send up a monkey and a dog into
I knew
space.
that's where you were going. I
Yeah,
knew it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they send up the monkey and the dog in space, and they find out that the monkey ate the dog. And
so
Steve
sad.
Carell starts calling the monkey like a motherfucker and stuff like that.
After he awarded it,
Yeah,
like the
he's,
highest
so
honor.
he's like,
pissed.
I'm gonna award you the highest medal in the military. He's like, we're gonna rescue you, and he's like, we're not spending $2 billion to rescue this chimp. No, he's a member of the military. And he's like saluting this chimp, and then they focus on the dog's camera, and the dog's tail's just floating in
So
space,
sad.
and they're like, he ate the dog. He's like, that motherfucker.
And he starts cursing it out in
Yeah.
front of all of his military underlings
The,
or whatever.
the Chinese end up kidnapping the chimp, and he goes, that motherfucker better keep his mouth shut. It's just
Better
like,
not
That's
give
funny.
away our secrets.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
It
I only seen
is
the a little bit
hilarious.
of the first episode, and I guess there's like Steve Carell is rivaling with another guy.
Yes.
So Steve Carell thinks he's getting the Navy or something.
Air Force.
Or Air Force,
Yes.
and they're like, so the guy's like, yeah, man, from what I heard, Air Force, I'm getting something else or something like that, or you're getting promoted. So he thinks because I'm getting promoted,
no, the guy's retiring, so
Yes.
he thinks he's taking over.
Oh,
the Air
okay.
Force.
Yeah,
Yes.
so he's in this meeting. He's like, "Why the fuck is this guy still here? Like, you're retiring, get the fuck out." And they're
Yeah.
like, "We're giving you a brand new position." He's like, "Yes." And he's like, "Space Force." He goes, "What the fuck is that?"
And
Like,
he was so mad.
yeah, he's pissed
It
off.
sounds good. I'm sure I'd like it.
His
There-
wife is Phoebe or whatever from Friends.
Lisa
Friends,
Kudrow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lisa
Yeah.
Kudrow.
Yeah, it's decent, but this scene is worth. I would watch the series just for this
Yeah.
sequence of like the monkey and the dog in space. It
I
is
would describe
unbelievably
it.
funny.
Yeah. I would describe it as like midnight, threat level midnight, but in space.
Okay, they're
Yeah.
real goofy and over the top.
Is there anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
What do you got, Andy?
Octopath Traveler, baby, 32 hours.
Great
It's
game.
such a good RPG.
It
What-
really
what
is.
is
It's for the
Oh,
Switch. It's a role playing game.
It's a tactical- it's a
turn-based
tactical
role-playing game,
RPG,
Yeah, but it's so
yeah.
well thought out. You can get jobs, and then you have 2 different classes. Then, so you can be like a healer, and then be a warrior too.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Kind of
there's-
plays off of Final Fantasy Tactics a little
yeah,
bit.
and then the characters
with
talk to
classes,
each other when you do
subclasses.
different missions, and there's no like overall evil person. They all have different
No.
stories, and then you play their chapters.
So cute.
And you expand in the world and stuff. It's just really well thought out,
Nice.
and it's still Square Enix. So I'm playing that.
That's
and,
awesome. I have
and
to
then-
pick that up.
yeah.
It's very good.
What did,
He's
oh,
reaching,
oh,
he's
he's
reaching.
reaching is right.
Yeah, some stuff.
So I got this Hulk on the bus, and I read a couple issues. So this
Whoa.
introduces the Red Hulk. You ever seen the Red Hulk?
Yeah.
So, and I'm just
They're actually bringing the
That's a
Red Hulk
great-
into the MCU.
That's a great book.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Oh
looking
man,
book.
thank God
the art in this is
held on to
fantastic.
that
So Jeff
variant.
Loeb, who did what movie did he do? Star Trek? No.
I
wrote
don't
Jeff
know.
Loeb.
Sounds
No, that-
familiar.
he directed some movies that. No,
I think he's
a
a
show.
producer on a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't really write comics anymore, but he wrote this, and then McGinnis does the art. The art's fantastic. Anyway,
It's really pretty. Yeah,
just
you could
the
see it.
Red
I
Hulk
could see
right
it.
there.
It's pretty.
Yeah, McGinn. Oh yeah.
There's one, and it
Those
also
colors.
introduces the Red She-Hulk.
Oh
So,
yeah.
To spoil a story that's 15 years old.
Oh, who cares?
Thunderbolt Ross was always after the Hulk.
Yeah.
His years of trying to go after the Hulk and messing with gamma radiation made him a Hulk.
They're saying they're bringing him into the MCU in the She-Hulk series.
Oh, wow. And,
Oh, thank God I have that
The
at
whole-
9.4.
yeah, the whole
CGC.
thing, this plays it off as, like, their whole, like, who is the Red Hulk? And they don't know, and then eventually find out it's Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
Oh man, that art looks
Yeah,
amazing.
there's this one scene here.
Hey, real quick,
But it's awesome. I blew through like 10 issues on Saturday. I got 2 more issues left. And I'm done.
I could get behind that for real. That's actually nice art.
Yeah,
versus
Those colors are really pretty.
Well, it's Ed McGuinness who did Superman Batman.
Yeah, that's just solid art. That's like one of the very few I could safely say that I can easily get
and
into.
there's some cool right here. Like check out. They're
Oh,
fighting
look
in
at that!
hell.
Look at
Like,
that
looks
shit!
awesome.
Wow,
Right there.
The eyes and
shade,
the eyes right where
shading.
Yeah.
The shading
where
of
your
the
fingers
detail.
are. That face right there looks creepy
Yeah,
as
that's
fuck.
when you find out that it's Thunderbolt Ross.
That's like tattooable
And she's like,
art.
"You're my dad." He's like, "Oh, I didn't," because they don't know that. Like, he doesn't know that's his daughter.
Yeah.
which is Betsy.
Wow.
Which was Betty Ross, who is the Bruce Banner's wife.
Yeah,
So-
no, well, if you saw, so for MCU fans to cross this over, if you saw the first Hulk with Edward Norton,
Yeah.
Betsy Ross is Liv Tyler, the girlfriend,
Yes.
and Thunderbolt Ross is the head of the military, who's still in the MCU.
Mhm.
He, like the Sokovia Accords in Civil War, he's the one that talks to Rhodey in that sequence. So he's already in the MCU, Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah,
He's
so-
he's going to be in Black Widow movie and
Okay.
the She-Hulk coming
So,
up.
so this series is basically referred to as Red Hulk, and it's
Mhm.
Jeff Loeb and McGinnis. And this
That's what I was
omnibus
doing.
I got for
Loeb.
it retails for what $100, and I got it on eBay. A guy was selling it for, I think, $57.
That's a good
So
deal.
it's worth it. It's really heavy. It's like 6 pounds. But man, I only got 2 issues left. I was blowing through it. It's awesome.
So Jeff Lowe is the guy who steals the zoo from Tiger King. So it's,
oh no,
yeah,
Jeff
yeah.
Loeb.
Yeah, I know. But when you type in Jeff Loeb, it immediately is like, "Did you mean Jeff Lowe?"
Yeah, because he's popping right now. 2 years, people are like, what's that?
He
the
actually
guy that framed Joe, you mean?
he was part of Batman Hush. He was part of Batman Dark Victory. He
He
was
wrote
part
some
of
Captain America.
Daredevil Yellow.
Yeah, he wrote a lot. But-
Batman Haunted.
See what his
Gray Hulk.
See what his movie and TV show writing.
Batman vs Superman. Public Enemies. Batman Hush.
That's the cartoon, yeah. Well, he wrote the Batman Superman comic books.
This
one
says
through-
movies too. So
Yeah,
I
but
guess
he made
did
the movie
animated.
of the comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is very good.
Hold on. Let's see what else we got here.
He directed something, a TV show or something.
He was a producer on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
He was authorizing the script of Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox.
Oh God,
Commando with
Delete
Arnold
that.
Schwarzenegger.
that's not true.
Joe Loeb and Wiseman collaborated writing the script of Commando.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he that old? Jeez, I mean, because that would be like 82. He'd have to be at least 20.
Smallville was Jeff Loeb.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he wrote a lot. But hey, his writing's really good, and that art's awesome. So I was hammering that. I started last Friday, and I read like 6 issues Friday night. I fell asleep, and I was reading them.
He was
rest on
he was
Sunday.
the writer and producer of Lost.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Thought his name
Heroes?
sounded familiar.
Heroes?
That would be why.
Yeah,
was-
Heroes. Yeah,
I know
He was the
him from
producer
Lost.
on Agents of
Heroes'
S.H.I.E.L.D.
first season is
Oh,
terrific.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
First
too.
2
Very
seasons
good.
were
and
fantastic.
the second season's good, and then
Third season
then it falls
is
off.
when
Yeah.
the writer's strike happened.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
he's the
series?
executive producer for FX right now.
Oh,
so
okay.
That's where I
yeah,
was.
yeah. He doesn't write comics anymore, but
Hopefully
hopefully he goes to a con because I have the first issue of that Hulk. I'm going to sign it.
He
I just
he
got tagged in
produced-
something. The Mahoning Drive-In just announced they're going to do Friday, August 14th, and August 15th. Sorry, they're going to be doing the. It's going to be called Real Rumble, and Friday is going to be Body Slam, 1986 movie,
Okay.
and Ready to Rumble
Oh, boy.
is going to be
Oh, God.
the second feature.
I was getting excited. I thought they were going to set a ring and we go pull the cars around the ring. And,
We can possibly try to figure
Yeah.
that out. I'm sure if like we.
I
can-
got wrestling this Saturday, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
and then Saturday-
Taping matches.
What's that?
Taping matches. So there won't be any fans. The wrestlers will be
Outbreak.
the fans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good though.
Yeah.
If they need someone to stand in the crowd,
Yeah.
I'll let them know. I'll be there. We could do like a secret drive home show.
There you go. Yeah. Review this and then release it in 2 months.
Yeah, exactly. I'm totally down if they're willing to let me be there. And then the August Friday 15th show is going to be Suburban Commando,
Oh, wow.
Oh God!
and the second feature is going to be a secret. So they're not going to tell you what it is till.
Was it wrestling themed?
It's going to be somehow wrestling theme.
oh man, that
Another Hogan
cheese.
movie? Oh, God. It's probably No Holds Barred.
No Holds Barred. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be.
Or They Live.
If you watch No Holds Barred again, it's awful.
Yeah.
Awful. But it's like, oh, it's cool because it's Hogan and
Oh,
Zeus,
yeah.
but it's a bad movie.
That's so much cheese.
And so Suburban
I might
Commando.
have to
Suburban
go
Commando's
there.
terrible as well.
Yeah.
Jeff Loeb is legit. He actually produced some of the best Marvel shows. He produced
Daredevil, yeah.
Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, The Punisher.
Yeah, his writing's really good. Like, and these issues fly by. Not that like I don't like when issues like.
Who did the art for that book?
Ed McGuinness, and then there's a couple other, like Art Adams did some art, and Ian Churchill.
Nice.
But like I don't like when a book's real word heavy. I'm not into that. And this isn't like where there's like 2 words per page. I mean, there's words, but if
There's
it
enough
flies,
of dialogue to get you through.
Yeah, you can
and
read
you're
it.
Like, okay,
you're
this
not
is
going to read one
comfortable.
issue for 2 hours like an old school comic from the 60s. So I don't know. I really liked it, and I have my Fantastic Four omnibus coming tomorrow, written by John Byrne. Plowing through
okay,
that.
John Byrne, yeah.
I'm a big fan of John Byrne, so that's what I did. Octopath Traveler and that Hulk book.
That's good.
Fair enough.
Awesome. Well, we killed it. Good timing on this show. Anyone have anything else they want to talk about before we get out of here?
Well, speaking of playing real quick, some people might be interested in this too. I've been, not my golf game particularly, but I've been streaming my golf game. Somebody introduced me to this app for mobile called Omelette. It's OMLET. You can stream cell phone games on it. So it overlays on your cell phone. So that's how I stream my golf game right now. And it's actually like pretty popular because like there's people that stream like Fortnite and stuff
Clash
like
of
that.
Titans
Yeah, like all
There's
the big mobile games, but
Yeah.
also the ones that have mobile platforms. Like the PogG has a mobile platform. People stream
wow.
that. And the more you stream, like they don't focus on a particular game. I love how they do this system. They don't focus on a particular game. The more you stream, you earn fire points for the more you stream and the more people that watch you. So no matter what game you're playing, if people are watching you and you're gaining fire points, they'll promote your stream. So they can't donate. You can't donate money on there. But what a lot of people will do, like this one dude came into my stream and he was really into golf but never played it before, like this game that I was playing, and he was asking me questions. He's like, "What's your PayPal link?" And he would PayPal me $1 for every question he would ask. So like they ask for your PayPal links and they'll send you money or whatever. But you can. It's a really good app if you're really good at a mobile game and you want people to see it. Like people stream Pokemon on there to show their stuff. Like whatever you want to do, it's a really, really good app for any mobile games that you want to might stream. You can talk on it like regular. You can turn the camera on if you want to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a really good app. It's really cool.
Cool.
Yeah, I've been making a lot of money with that golf game because we're playing for some money. I'm not going to talk about how much, but
Anyone else? Is there anything coming out soon that you guys are excited for? I know we kind of dropped some stuff saying like Umbrella Academy and stuff, but like anything else?
what was that superhero show that came out last year? The really adult one.
The
Boys.
Boys.
The Boys, yeah. I think
Just
season
good
2.
old
I
Boys.
hope production didn't get delayed because I think that's supposed to come out soon. The Boys season 2. That was really good. The first season.
My phone's dead.
Ben dropped the hammer.
Mhm.
He had a hammer in his pocket. I don't know of anything coming out. No games really, except for because they're going to hold off until later in the year.
I know. I'm looking forward to that Witchbrook game, but that's not until I think later this
Did
year.
anyone else try
Yeah, it
Witcher
looks
yet?
good.
What's
Try
that?
Did anyone
Witcher.
try Witcher yet?
No.
I haven't. And I don't know.
No, I keep.
It's
forgetting
not
to
high on my
download it.
list
Tony.
to do.
I reinstalled it. I played it for another hour,
Yeah.
and I said, "Fuck this."
You had
You're
enough.
done.
I turned it off. All right,
Because
so
of the graphics or the
Gra-
gameplay.
graphics don't bother. The gameplay is fucking. To me, it's horrible. It's
I gotta
atrocious.
try it.
So like, there's this one part where I'm riding the horse, right, and then an enemy pops up. So I start trying to fight the enemy, but the way it's transporting around me, I can't see it, and then I'm trying to lock on it, and the camera's like fucking bugging.
Can you fight from on the horse?
Yeah, but dude, it's so tanky. It's ridiculous, right? So then there's literally my guys here. It's a stone path. Then there's a little tiny curb like that high, and then grass like a cemetery. And I'm trying to then get away from the enemy, like because you can hit X to bail and run. And I hit X, and my guy's just like, I'm like, the curb is this fucking big. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can climb buildings, but you can't step over a curb. Like, and I was like, I can't do this. It's so tanky.
Yeah, I've never played it, so I can't.
I just want to make sure it's not me. And
I
I was
can't
just
say.
overplaying it, but I was just getting so frustrated with it.
Did you try it on PlayStation instead of Xbox? Maybe it's better
No.
on
Nah,
PlayStation.
probably the same.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not like a graphical thing. It's just
No, I mean maybe the gameplay would be different on a different platform. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
maybe. I mean, I'd have to buy it again for a whole new system. So it's like, you know what I mean. So I would.
Yeah.
I don't think I would. It's not even appealing to spend a $10 to try it to see if it's just the system. It's just, to me, it was just so.
It's not even worth it.
And people are like, this is like one of the greatest games ever made. Like, if this, like, I don't know. It's your guy feels like he moves like this. Like, it just, I don't know, man. It's rough. I hope someone else tries it.
None,
So they
none of
can
us played it, so we can't say
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, I
We're
want
like,
to try it. It's
I
on
don't
my
know.
list. It's on my
uninstalled it
list.
again. It's already gone.
It'll be like it'll be like, I'm done.
Did you ever
I played
play
this.
Shadows of Mordor when they were Mordor?
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Oh, I love
It's
them.
that's why it looks like it would play like that.
No, that game actually feels like you can maneuver.
Yeah.
Like that game.
I played the first one.
It's so good. I didn't play part 2 yet.
Yeah, I didn't
but
play-
I
I
have
have
it.
it.
I
I
have
bought
it
it for $5.
downloaded. I have it downloaded because the first one was so good.
I have to.
I
do
thought
the
a little
expansions, yeah.
repetitive then after a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked fucking putting the guys on your team, and like you get an orc, and like it's all the orcs are part of this like hierarchy system.
Yeah.
And you can kill them, and then the next guy takes that guy's spot.
Yeah.
Or
Then
you
get a
That's so
can,
mean.
you get a rival.
yeah, or you can
They're all the ugly.
Help them
orc
out.
eye.
you
And
can
then
help them and
build
It's
them
Lord
up.
of the Rings.
yeah, and then you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
take
I
them
know.
and form them on your team, and then you can help that orc get all the way to the top of the food chain,
I hate orcs.
right?
Yeah, I didn't help. I just killed them all.
Yeah, no, there's an achievement that if you get one
Oh my god.
and you help him get to the top of the food chain, and then you get there, and then he's like, "Hey, buddy," and you're
Yeah.
like, "Hey," and you kill him, that you dismantle the whole thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so cutthroat and mean.
It's
Can you
awesome.
play as anything but orcs? Or is
No,
it
no,
all-
No, you're a human.
You're a human.
Yeah,
You
you're a
look like
human.
Boromir.
Yeah.
Oh, do you look
Yeah.
like
Ar
Boromir?
Argamar or whatever.
Yeah, and then there's a skin where you're the girl in the game, but anytime there's a cutscene, it reverts back to him.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
stupid. Well, that's right.
So you can play as her, but then
Weird.
when it talks, it's the guy.
No,
I'm like,
lame.
well, it's literally a skin. I'm like, oh god. I tried it, but I'm like, and any single time, and then whenever she talks, you hear his voice. I'm like,
That's stupid.
I would 100% recommend that game. Like
it
1000%.
is fun. It's a little hard though.
Is it like
When-
so? What are you doing? Like, are you
So
like killing orcs or like what are you? I love Lord of the Rings. It's my second favorite thing.
I forget where he's at. I think he has to like go and like clear the land because the orcs are invading.
yeah, something along those
Kind of like
lines.
Assassin's Creed a little
Yeah,
bit.
and you have to like kind
clear
of like advance
areas
to
and,
the
like,
final level where like like you make your way and you befriend orcs. Like you
Yeah.
try and like go up the hierarchy until you actually meet these like legendary like
It won Game of the Year
warrior
2015.
like these
Oh.
legendary like warrior orcs that you can kill off then too, depending on who you recruited back. You know,
I
like on the
didn't
battlefield. And all
recruit
that.
You
anybody.
play as a ranger named Talion who seeks revenge in the forces of Sauron
Sauron.
after his family after his family was killed. His wife and son are killed by those who lead them. The players travel across locations through the doing parkour, riding monsters, or accessing forge towers, which serve as fast points.
It's kind of like the map is red, and when you clear an area, it's green.
It,
Oh.
And there's no
it's,
more bad
it's
guys there.
Assassin's Creed meets Shadows, like meets Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's fucking awesome.
It's kind of like like the beat 'em up game for like the GameCube.
See, I wouldn't
where,
give
like,
it Game of the
you
Year.
know,
I'd give it maybe a 7.5 or an 8.
I think
really.
Yeah,
I would
I
say
thought it
it's
was
an
a
8
little
or
too
9.
repetitive.
Yeah, I loved it. I absolutely
It
loved
was
it.
fun.
for how much you can do, like you can do like bow and arrow shit. You can control like the bigger like
Smoke
animals.
bombs.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. And you'll be in the middle of
Poison.
a fight, and you'll be like fighting something, and all of a sudden it'll be like, "Be careful, an orc's near you," and you're like, "What?" And then you have to fucking hide, and they'll like, "Where's that guy at?" And you can like hide behind the bush and like kill two, or like possess them to become part of your team, and
Yeah,
they'll be like,
you can do
you
stealth
could be like,
too.
"Go
Yeah.
kill your boy," and he'll be like, "Okay," and he'll go over and start
oh,
fighting
that's
his
kind
boy.
of neat. Yeah.
Because your guy has, he has the powers of one of the human, like the guy, one of like how the ghosts of the people who forge the rings.
Oh yeah.
So you have one
you
of
can
those.
possess people.
Yeah, the whatever's inside you, you can use to possess people.
Oh, that's neat.
It's-
Okay, I
it
would
was,
like that.
It was so much fun. I loved it.
Game of the
Oh,
Year?
okay.
No.
I would. See, I would. I
I gotta go back and see what games were out at
Let's-
2017.
let's see real
What was it,
quick.
2017?
2015.
I can't think offhand what
I
games
can't
were
remember what was out back then.
out. What should be like Skyrim? Oh, do you know, like
I like Skyrim a lot. It's
like-
a great game. You might have to finish
Yeah.
it.
I don't know what game. I don't know. It was good, but I don't think it was that good.
Wait. So 2015's game of the year was actually The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
The one that you were just.
Oh, maybe was it 2016 then?
No, I guess it was in the running for game of the year.
Oh,
Oh, it didn't win Game of the Year.
Hmm.
Oh, that surprises me.
Batman's Telltale series was in there. Walking Dead was in there. Telltale.
Point and click.
Far Cry Primal, not that good.
I heard that one's not great.
Uncharted 4.
did
Quantum-
Uncharted win?
I can see
Yeah,
Uncharted.
Uncharted 4.
I can't remember. Uncharted.
Quantum Break.
Quantum Break. Is that a first-person shooter?
Oh, here we go. Witcher 3,
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4,
Fallout 4 is your game of the year.
Witcher 3 won. Which
Wow.
I
I didn't play.
Witcher
I didn't
3
play
won.
which I love Fallout 4. So.
Metal Gear Solid 5, Super Mario Maker. They were the game
Top
of the year
5,
candidates.
okay.
Well, then how the fuck did it get game? Well, let's see. Maybe
Maybe,
it won.
it was like
maybe
an
it won
IGN
or it
game
won
of the year
a
or
it
something
won
like
a
that.
different category. I'm
Yeah.
thinking. Developer of the year that year was
Click on its Wikipedia.
yeah.
for Shadows
I'm
of
going through all
Mordor.
the categories. So developer of the year that year was CD Projekt Red. Best independent game of the year was Rocket League.
Oh,
Best
yeah.
mobile handheld was Lara Croft Go.
Well,
Best narrative
well,
was Her Story. No idea what that
I
is.
don't
I've
know
never
what
even heard
that
of
is,
it.
yeah.
Best art direction was Ori and the Blind Forest.
A lot of people like that. It's kind of like a Metroid game.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
It's Xbox only.
Soundtrack was Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. Best performance was Viva Safari.
Viva Pinata?
Yeah. Games for Impact, Life is Strange. Best shooter, Splatoon.
Okay. Splatoon's fun. Look,
Where
that
the
again
fuck did
repetitive.
this game win anything? I don't see it unless it was I don't know.
Well, it could be like
It was nominated.
Maybe it was
well,
a
like-
magazine award.
Well,
or something.
yeah, I was gonna say there's so many. You got to be so careful with that because the old company I used to work for, they wanted us to tell everyone how we won the award for the fastest growing small business or whatever. And then you dug deeper into it, and it's like this company that you just pay to nominate yourself, and whoever whoever pays the most money wins. And so it's like they just want the award title, so they just give this company money. The company says, "Yeah, you can use our name now." So it's like, "Yeah, we won the fastest growing company of the year." They're like, "Oh, who awarded that?" You're like, "Oh, Shaman." It's like it's
It was a 9 out of 10 for stream, and GameStop gave it a 4.2 out of 5.
So there was a Shadows of Mordor for Commodore 64, and it was a text-based adventure.
Nice.
Shadows of Mordor game, Lord of the Rings.
That's
'Cause
funny.
It said 1984. I'm like, that's not right.
It's like, are we sure about that? Like,
Yeah, it's definitely. Listen, if you're into Lord of the Rings or if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, pick it up. It's a really fun game.
It came out in 2014.
Yeah,
oh damn.
I don't know why the Wikipedia. Well, I mean, it is Wikipedia. That's not. It's not gospel.
Yeah, Middle Earth.
Yeah, you don't want to be relying on Wikipedia way too much there.
I mean, so, yeah, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not.
Ben, what do you got to plug?
What do I got to plug?
Is he asking you what?
Yeah, nailed it, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's just banging beers.
All right.
That's
It's
it.
just bang. Is that like a? It's
It
just
might be
beer.
our.
It's just beers.
It just might be our collab
Yeah.
when we're gonna be doing eventually.
Yeah.
when everything
Let's see
blows
how- let's
over.
see how works
it got
out.
the GameSpot Game of the Year, and
Okay.
also Giant Bomb, and whoever the Game Developers Choice Awards are.
Cool. Yeah, I thought it was a fantastic game. I gave it a really high score. If I had to score it,
I really liked it.
IGN
has
gave it
a lot of elements.
9.3. I wouldn't agree with that. Now, here's the Structure gave it 6.10. I think it was better than that. I would say about an 8. Like GameSpot gave it an 8. I
Yeah.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I would highly agree with that too.
Bree, what do you got to plug?
I'd say check out Space Force. It's hilarious.
Cool. And real quick, just to go back on Ben's plug, Bangin' Beers, a new episode this Sunday is going to be all sour beers from Hudson Valley.
Yes,
So,
that's gonna be.
well, not
fun.
all sour, but
Nope, there's gonna be
two
two lagers.
majority sour beers.
Two lagers,
Yeah.
mostly sours. It's gonna be something else.
Yeah. Andy.
So I'll just talk about that Kickstarter. Pixie Tricks Comics. It's a new Kickstarter by Giselle Lagasse, and she has like Archie type art, but it's dirty. So it's like Z and the Troublemakers, Eerie Cuties, and Pixie Tricks. So just check it out on a Kickstarter. It's good art, and she has some other stuff there. Like she has a book that's about this gay guy and all his adventures. It's called Sticky Dilly Buns, and, it's like, and the logo
That's
is like
an awesome name.
it's like pickles, and they look like dicks. And
Sticky Dilly
yeah.
Buns.
And then there's one
Oh
called
my
Dangerous
God.
Chloe, where this like succubus has to help this guy find his wife.
Did you read your book from last week, Fire Bitch?
I did read Fire Bitch. Was really good. Yeah,
So what's the premise of it?
I told you last week. You didn't pay attention.
Does she have like no? So I mean I heard that she has an OnlyFans, but that's all I remember.
No, yes, she's the
Sorry.
she's like an Instagram or something, like internet model, and
Yeah.
she's trying to make money and get stuff off her wish list. So she bangs people, get stuff off her wish. She's like ditzy blonde,
Mhm.
just wants to be fit, like Paris Hilton, something like
So
that.
she has no superpowers.
No, not when at the start. And then she's banging this guy, and he's like a military guy. And then aliens want to hit this guy with a ray to give him powers so he can come help them fight off this other alien race. It hits both of them and kills him, and she gets the powers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did
And
she-
then they take her.
Does she still bang people once she gets the powers?
She didn't, but she's in the different planets. So
Does her butthole
there's
glow on her OnlyFans?
there's all little weird aliens. So who
Nice.
knows? I'm sure there'll be more wacky sex stuff.
Yeah,
But it's really funny.
That's
and,
the
and she's
character
kind of
there.
making fun of herself.
yeah, that's the character there, Matt. And it's
Fire
based,
bitch, yeah.
it's based off a real girl who has a fans only page. And she has-
Karen Nicole.
she has-
She's like a cosplay model.
She has big boobies.
Yeah.
And she shows them off on the one cover of Matt Andy's
Yeah.
magazine.
Yep.
Comic book,
She
come on
certainly
now.
does.
It's a comic book. It's like actually her photo though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Based off of her.
I was
Interesting.
impressed. I was like, good for
And
you.
she has a Kickstarter too now. She's like a cosplay book. Like it's a hardcover, all pictures of her
Yeah.
cosplay.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's like a big thing now on the internet. We'll just say on
Only
Pornhub. And you could. It's like people in cosplay
Oh,
having
wow.
sex.
That's because that Jessica
Oh,
Nagri,
yeah,
right?
Nigiri
she
or whatever,
made
yeah.
that so popular.
And then there's Hidori Rose. She does like some.
What's
Ben's-
the
Ben's
Ben?
like-
What's the one with the big ass? The Asian Yaya Han.
Ben's
Yaya
like, let me
Han?
just
No,
go into
wait,
my
no,
search
wait.
history. real
She
quick.
has a ridiculously large ass. Like it's like it looks fake.
I was gonna say Yo-Yo Ma, but that's the.
It's
that's
something like
the
that. I think it's
violinist.
Yaya
No.
Yaya Han or something. There's a picture of her as Chun Li. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, her. Then there's
And Ivy from the Soul Calibur.
Ivy Doom Kitty.
Oh, maybe. Oh, she has a ridiculously big.
Then
ass.
there's
Yeah, this
then
Yaya
there's-
Han, her butt's not insane.
Oh, then it's
She's
ty-
very pretty though.
Yeah, type in Ivy Doom Kitty.
Ivy Doom Kitty.
Yeah,
And then
look at
there's
this one.
Yaya Han is gorgeous.
Yeah,
There's-
she is.
Momo-kun cosplay.
Hold on, one at a time. What was it?
Ivy. Why like poison ivy?
He just wants it as search history for later.
and then Doom Kitty, exactly how you think it would be spelled.
I'll just listen back
She's
later
a
and
little
write them
thick.
down so I don't look as creepy.
Oh yeah, she's a
Look at that. It looks fake.
good for her.
She's built.
Look at her build. It's just like a Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
See, that's not my type.
Yeah, I'm not.
Good for
I'm
her.
not really into that.
I'm proud of her.
Then there's
She's. I don't think she's. I don't think
Momo-kun.
it's super fake. I just think she's a curvier
I seen
girl.
the one. I was like that.
And she's
looks-
wearing and this is not like picking on her, like I'm not saying she's fat and she's hiding it or anything, like that's not what I'm going for here, but she is a very thick girl
It looks like she's wearing a lot of corsets.
and she wears corsets.
It's what you're going
so
for.
so
Yeah.
it really
Well, that's
really
the pushed up the boobs and everything.
it pushes up the
too,
boobs
so.
and it makes her waist look smaller, which makes her butt look huge.
Yeah.
So I mean that's a style. Good for her. You know
fun
what I mean?
fact.
Hey, them girls make a lot of money off them losers. Let
Yeah.
me tell you.
Fun fact.
Well, I mean, I like cosplay girls. I'm not sending them no money. I'm not buying them no video games and stuff like them guys were sending Jess Nagiri.
we don't kink shame here in Not Cool in High School.
That's not kink. That's being an idiot. Watch whatever you want. You don't have to send them. You don't have to spend your hard-earned money to buy them things.
Bowser.
Hint, hit Reddit.
Yeah. You go look at the pictures for free. Don't buy them
Hint, hit Reddit.
things.
Yeah.
Listen, if you want to support someone's OnlyFans, you go for it.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
Oh.
saying they're buying them gifts and sending them gifts.
Oh,
Yeah.
like
They're
kind of
not-
like an Amazon wish list.
Yeah, that's why I stopped following Jessica Gear. She posted a picture of all the gifts guy sent her. Like, not, I understand you want to buy her photo or something like that. That's okay. Buy a book.
Guys, our links are
but when
below
you're-
if you want to buy us
Yeah.
gifts.
If you're sending her video games and like the one guy's like, I bought her a $500 lightsaber. I'm like, what are you? She's not gonna come bang you. Like,
I'll
No.
show my butthole for a Lamborghini.
yeah. So that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, I had it.
I mean, if you want to buy photos, buy photos.
Sex sells. If someone messages me tomorrow and says, Tony, dong for some cash.
Yeah, I'd be like,
Yeah.
when do you want it? Right
Yeah,
now?
Yeah. Like, do you want it worked up?
Yeah,
do you want it
yeah.
normal?
How do you want it?
Yeah, like
Then you have the
That's
Julie-
why. That's why the guy OnlyFans don't really exist.
Yeah.
They're actually OnlyFans for dudes is actually out there.
It's probably for like
Yeah, gay
dudes.
guys, yeah.
Like what dude?
Because I
watching
can't
dudes
imagine any girl going on there.
whacking their meat.
All she could do is just like go on
Flicking the
Facebook
bean.
and see a guy naked in
That
less
just
than a
shows,
minute.
it just shows how big of monsters we are.
Yeah.
Like a girl's just like, I'm gonna masturbate. We're like, this is awesome. And then a guy's like, hey, I'm gonna masturbate. She's like, get the fuck away from me. Fuck. Yeah.
Then there's the Juliet Michelle Bijou.
That's still going.
I literally knew one. Like I was at
And
one
then,
because she made it famous.
Then
It's like-
there's what's her name?
All right. Anyway,
What's
Matt,
her
what do you
name?
got to plug?
all right. Follow.
He's
well,
giving his whole Rolodex over
yeah,
here.
he's going through his phone history, his X videos, search history.
And these are just his girls who cosplay with big butts. That's his one subcategory. This guy's got a whole.
He's going through his bank statement to see who he donated to.
Oh, there's a fantastic Nami, which she's Filipino. She's
awesome.
ridiculous.
Anyway, Matt.
Just watch Stargirl because I want to keep it on the air. Like it sucked when Swamp Thing went off. Let's watch this one, support this one because this is a very good one. And just download Omelette if you have any interest in any mobile games. Watch them. But if you have any interest in golf, look me up. I'm Jesus Had GR8 Abs. So Jesus Had Great Abs is my name on there, and also on WGT. I stream high stakes coin matches on there. I also stream cash games on there. I stream a lot on there. So, yeah, the cash games have been awesome. Like, dudes will literally, like I was saying before the stream, I don't think they'd mind me bringing this up, but there's guys that literally will play me knowing they're gonna lose, but they just want their club to watch them play, because like on an average stream I have 15 to 20 people, but if I'm playing somebody from outside a club, they'll have their whole club watch. So there'll be 40, 50 people watching the match or whatever, and
just getting hammered.
They just like to watch me play, because I'm like it's
you're like a virtual Tiger Woods.
It's corny to say, but a lot of people believe I'm in the top 5 of mobile players in the world. So
do you ever play anybody like super high up?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've played and beaten all the people that are consistently in the, like, so the game has rankings for ranked rounds, and it can tell you how much you cash for or whatever. I beat those guys all the time. Like, I'll get paired with them in brackets and I just beat them all the time. I don't focus on ranked rounds. I play for the cash games mostly right now and some of the coin games. But yeah, a lot of people believe I'm in the top 5
this
or 10 in the world.
Probably should have said this earlier, but you just reminded me. I believe they just announced, or it's coming very, very soon. It's one of the first times ever where it's going to be, it's just EA Sports PGA Tour or something, like, where it's not like
a guy's name.
A guy's name.
Yeah.
And I believe
That's
that
smart.
I believe that comes out this year.
Did you see their Tony Hawk finally came to a new agreement with Activision?
It's already been announced, part 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're remastering 1 and 2. Yeah, he's been doing a lot of press for that. He just did.
And the characters are going to look like them in today's times.
Ugh.
So
they went and got they're going to have, the rumor is this true, I don't know how true it is, but the rumor is they're going to try to do their best they can to get the screen, like, to make them look like their younger selves, like, but they all went back in and got scanned.
So you can pick the old or new.
Yeah, that's the rumor.
Young or old Tony Hawk.
Or even like how on the Streets of Rage, where it had a pixelated version.
Yeah,
you may have a character that looks like it's from PS2 to be funny.
Like in Resident Evil, you can unlock the 98 costume.
Yeah. So that's a rumor
awesome.
that might be out there. Yeah.
I got something interesting on that I can do quick. So the first 2 Tony Hawk Pro skaters, if you remember, all the skaters had stats. I was always Cream Campbell, but I was just listening to a story where Rodney Mullen is like considered one of the greatest, if not the greatest skateboarder ever. He invented hundreds of tricks. He invented the modern kickflip, the ollie, hundreds of tricks that you know. So, and because he started out as a freestyle guy, and then he invented all these tricks, and he eventually morphed into street style. But he's so humble and so aloof that when the game creators were trying to create it, they could never get in contact with him because he didn't have a cell phone or anything. So they made all his stats shitty, and it's just like he's like the greatest skateboarder of all time, and he's like the worst in the game. So they were like laughing about that. So I hope they jack up his stats for the remastered version, because he's widely. If you guys don't know Rodney Mullen, watch documentaries about him. It's fascinating.
That Tony Hawk made me go on, like, when YouTube became a thing, like typing guys' videos in, and like when, because YouTube was like a good spot for like when like skateboard videos or like street basketball or like CKY videos.
That's why I didn't watch YouTube for the first couple years.
Yeah, so a lot of it was people, because everyone made tapes.
Yeah, street parts they call them.
Like skateboarding videos or CKY videos, or just all that stuff was on tape. Like Jackass started that way, and then everything just kind of got ported over to YouTube, and that was like the beginning of YouTube, where these tapes were just available.
Okay.
So I remember, like, I'm like, oh, who's Rodney Mullen, or who's this guy? Like, I remember them being on Tony Hawk, and then I would go on YouTube and watch their videos. Could never skateboard to save my life, but I enjoyed watching them.
Yeah, same here. One of my best friends, Jeremy Ladner, is a very good skater, so he got me into like liking skate stuff, but I like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. But yeah, what you're talking about with that started Jackass, the reason Jackass started was because Jason Lee, who became an actor, My Name is Earl, he was a great street skateboarder. A lot of people don't know that's how Jason Lee got his start.
He's actually he's your coach in the skate video games.
Yeah, and he voices some of the characters in the early Tony Hawks too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So he's a famous actor now, but he started off as this street skater that released these crazy videos. And Jeff Tremaine sang for this band called Milk, who did the Knife song, and they put that in one of Jason's street parts, and that's how everything came together, was just from this song being in like this
that too.
video.
And then Johnny Knoxville was making video. Well, he worked for a magazine, but then the magazine was like, oh, you should videotape it too. So he would go, and like Johnny Knoxville's first videotape thing is he got tased, pepper sprayed, and shot with like a beanbag gun.
And do you know how he first offered to go on Howard Stern and get tased? He
Yeah.
used to write Howard Stern letters to get tased on his show.
Yeah. So then they're like, well, this is hilarious that this guy's willing to do this. And then they found out like Steve-O was this guy who was like he could skate,
Circus performer.
but he was more of a circus performer. Then they found Wee Man was making these, like I think it was Wee Man, Chris Pontius, and somebody else were making skateboard videos. Then across the country in Northeast Pennsylvania, CKY videos were a thing. So they're like, if we can get the guys from Pennsylvania, the guys from California, and the guys from down south, and merge them all together and take these skateboarding stunt videos. And they did pranks and like so. The first couple seasons of Jackass, they weren't even together. It was just footage from their stuff put
separately.
in. Yeah, and then
know
it
that.
would be like, oh, here's a skit here, here's a
I
skit
was
there.
never into that at all.
Yeah, if people were willing to get hurt for my entertainment, I'd watch it.
Jackass! Oh
Yeah.
my god!
Yeah,
Not
but a
my
lot of
thing.
that footage was all pulled from their tapes, and then like 1 or 2 skits were put on, like where they would finally start getting together. But that's Jackass started from that.
Yeah, Spike Jonze is like the behind-the-scenes man on all that. He was the videographer for a lot of the skate videos, and then he ended up doing Jackass with Jeff Tremaine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
a lot of that's
CKY
really
videos are
interesting.
crazy.
I would also, if you have any interest in skateboarding whatsoever, watch the documentaries about Rodney Mullen and all the shit he invented. And just like he always thought he was going to have to quit skateboarding because of his dad. So he just worked hours and hours to get better because he wanted to learn all these tricks before he had to quit because of his dad. So it's really interesting. He's a super smart guy, too. He's a really smart guy. But they said he's so aloof that he's so hard to get in contact with. So the developers just were like, they didn't know. They didn't know he's like the greatest skateboarder ever. So they just gave him shitty stats.
All right, well, that'll do it for Not Cool in High School. We'll see you guys next week. Make sure you check out the links below. Hit up that merch page. If you want to throw a donation over, you can do that as well. My fans only will be coming soon. It'll be all feet pics. I'm just gonna do
Only
feet.
fans?
That's gonna be my
Fans
gimmick.
only.
Fans, hey, man, it's a new one. He's
Yeah,
I'll
I'm
join,
making my own
whatever.
van. You know that it's always.
I bet you there's a
I'm
couple.
offended you called it OnlyFans. It's fans only because I have 14 donation tabs opened up.
Yeah, Ben's like, I'm still in my bank history and I see how much I've given to it.
Oi Shakanawa is my next guy that's coming. Our next girl, she cosplays as King Boo.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Here's some. What show is this? Not Cool High.
Not cool high school.
Look alive. Bye bye.